Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, why do I not? Why is there no music? Anyway, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm TH Pine. With me is Axsom. He's tired, as always, as you can hear. We're gonna make some maps today. Getting pinged. I have to figure out if that's important. Let me just take a look. No, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, we're making maps today. Again, this is part of our regular streaming schedule. So welcome if you're new. I mean, I guess we probably have a bunch of new people because of the Steam sale that brought in a lot of new players. So yeah, we're gonna go over the basics really quick. And then we're gonna get into this factory Axsom is just spinning up here. So basically, in the process, we want to have a lot of maps, right? So what we did is we created a process that shortens the workflow of creating new maps to a minimum. And that minimum that is left? What is that? And that's why we don't let the generator handle the whole map, because what is this? Can we please make this map happen just for time? No. No, I think we're gonna get... No, that's probably not... It's not even south, right? It's like not really south because there's other stuff more south than this. No, that's fine. That's really funny. Yeah, that looks better. Oh, thank you. Why is it not? That might be on my end. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, talk again.
Hello, I'm Grant.
I think that's better. That's better. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, Grant just made fun of the docks being completely messed up, so you kind of missed that, but I guess you caught my reaction. So anyway, back to what I was talking about. We have created an algorithm that procedurally generates the foundations of maps. So it gets the map to basically like 80% done. And then we have level designers like Axsom here and Sandwich who do the final touches and finish those maps up before we push them out in the wilds. So yeah, we have a procedural generation system that creates the foundation of a map. As you can see here, Axsom is just going through a few iterations. And there's also a lot of other stuff automated in the process. So basically, it reduces the time and level designer has to work on a map to like 20 to 40 minutes per map. We're looking into ways to like trim it down even further, get the generator even better, add more variety, make it even easier to use, stuff like that. But yeah, we have a working solution right now. We're pretty proud of it. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to look into those last 20 to 40 minutes. Even though on stream it's probably usually like an hour we take for a factory because we talk about stuff. And
Yeah, we talk about stuff a lot, and I can't work while I'm holding down push to talk.
yeah, because it's Alt and it will just mess up Unity. So
Yeah, as soon as I hit like Alt D, the doozy menu pops up every single time, and I'm like, doozy.
that's
Yeah,
so,
like that.
So yeah, we were gonna take a little longer, but usually, like if you're in the zone, you need like 30 to 40 minutes for a factory, I believe, because it's the tile set that takes a little longer.
Yeah.
While C-stores and kill houses are a little faster than that. So that allows us to pump out a lot of maps per week, and that's what we do. We publish at least 20 new maps every week. I think today we released 25.
I don't know
Even?
if we're
More?
doing push today or Thursday.
We pushed already today. We pushed maps
like,
earlier today.
It's somewhere closer to like 33 or 40. It's somewhere in there. It's a larger number.
I'm not sure if we pushed all of them yet. Let me double check the patch notes actually.
Yeah,
but yeah, we pushed a few maps out earlier today. Let me check. Oop.
Trying to decide if this is one I want to keep or not.
So what are your criteria for that?
Oh, I'm just looking for interesting scenarios.
Okay.
Like
okay, we added about 25 total map generations apparently earlier today, and removed the winterized Killhouse variants, and I think we also re-enabled a few other maps now.
I might. So it just depends on what maps got uploaded. I did do a bunch of fixes. We had like 3 or 4 maps blacklisted due to errors.
I think that's
either due to errors or
the patch
bugs,
notes are
and I went through and fixed those. So like I think that reactivated like 4 old maps that got blacklisted immediately. So like I know a lot of people were running into that issue where if you like door charged into Office, it would like delete those weird server units that would, now you can just see through the wall because occlusion's weird. I went through and removed the script that was enabling destruction.
That makes sense, yeah. So yeah, we released 25 completely new maps and re-enabled a few older ones that got blacklisted, stuff like that. And yeah, usually we release at least 20 maps a week, and remove old ones and stuff like that. And so yeah, that's enough for the intro, I think. So maybe you can give us another really short rundown on how the level generation actually works. I mean, basically it summarized as it plays Tetris, but
yeah, it's basically just playing. Like if I click on, so each of these rooms here, like over on the left, like let me highlight them all. Oops. So like each of these are all individual rooms that level gen is placed. So it starts off by picking a room. So in this case, Doc always goes first, which is this nice little 4x8. Then it'll go, okay, I need to place my next item, which in this case is the empty warehouse floor. And it goes, okay, and it literally places the L Tetris piece. And then it goes, okay, let's do another, which is also an L Tetris piece. And it goes, okay, I'm going to spawn Office. And Office is unique and has a sub-room of itself, so it basically makes this little extended stretched version of itself, which is, basically just 4x4. And then it goes, okay, I'm going to spawn another factory floor, which is another Tetris L piece.
It's all L pieces today. Nice.
It's all L pieces today.
Generator likes L.
Yep, and then it goes, okay, I'm going to do storage, which is also an L piece. and then it slaps servers down, which is
Please tell me the map name has something with an L in it.
Doubt it. It is Adder Keeper. So.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah, no L's, but yeah. So like this is this level is comprised of 4 L pieces right now. 4 L pieces, all rotated and snapped in different ways.
Nice. Yeah, and yeah. For Kill House and C-Store, the generator is actually doing a little more by also spawning more cover and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I haven't gotten to that. I haven't gotten to that step yet.
I guess, but it's not really I guess it spawns some of cover in office and stuff.
Yeah, it spawns some cover in office and stuff, but like, yeah. Kill House has a lot more stuff going on.
Yeah. The different tile sets are in different, like the generation processes for the tile sets for different tile sets are in different states, I'd say, or versions.
Yeah.
And therefore
they're
not developed the same as like to the same extent so far. But we're working on all of them basically.
Yeah, I'm running through the steps right now. Like I just hit the room pass, which will take like a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
This will actually add stuff to rooms, right?
Yeah, this will add like the shelving section over here. Like this L piece should populate with shelving units.
And then we get to the main part of your
work.
Yeah,
then I start dragging stuff around. I mean, I already know how this is gonna work. Red door here, fan here, green door here.
Okay. Seems like
Sorry,
you already looked through the matrix and
I already know how to make this one. This happens. This is basically my workflow, right? Like this just always happens.
Yeah, you usually have a pretty strong vision of what a map has to look like when you see the foundations. So
yeah,
it's what I noticed.
Yeah, like I'm gonna like shelving, of course, is up here. What's gonna happen is the fan will be up here. If you blow through the fan, you can walk on top of the shelving, which gets you into office. I'll probably have like a board going over here or some shit, so you can like defenders can get up here and like hang out up here, be a dick, and shoot down onto people that are coming out of servers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll probably have bomb out here somewhere.
I just noticed they're not toxic on this map.
Yep, this is a no toxic map. This is a non-toxic map.
Oops, no toxic.
Yeah, no toxic. Yeah, toxic. So kind of going in with level gen. So like when there's certain passes when level gen is picking which rooms, we can actually bundle rooms together and go, hey, pick one of these, or hey, oh, there we go. See, shelving spawned.
Looks like it did a decent job of it already.
Yeah, it hit the outside, which is what
probably
I
want to extend around office a little bit, right?
Yeah, this is what I need. So like, if you enter this way through here, you can wrap around, of course, and jump in.
So we do.
But yeah, it did what it was supposed to do. Since it didn't have enough space to spawn a shelving unit, since this is all like a 2x2, it didn't spawn one. But if it was bigger, it would have slapped a shelving unit down.
All right, so I'm just gonna talk really quick about chat. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll try to monitor chat. I usually catch everything. I might skip your question if it's not specifically about level design or map making. Depends on whether or not we have time for it. Like I can answer some generic questions, but this is mainly about level stuff. So if I end up skipping your non-level related question or any question really, there will be another map stream tomorrow, and then there will be the community hour stream on Wednesday at the same time, which is a big Q&A session where I can answer all the questions. So if I skip over any of your questions, please come back on Wednesday or just ask them on Discord. And we can kind of go over them. How long did level design script take to write? Well, that's I think hard to answer probably.
I mean, how many years have we been working on it's not done yet. Like we are always working on it and adding new things. So like, what have we been working on this like 7 years? Like,
yeah, something along those
lines.
It's
been through a lot of different iterations too.
Obviously,
like the iteration you're seeing now is like nothing like the very first one. But I mean, the general idea of like having Lego pieces snapped together, like that's always been the basis of it. But like how it goes and does that is changed over time.
So Rez asks, are the current three tile sets going to have new different objects, or are they considered done? Yeah, we're definitely working on more stuff. We're always iterating.
We're working on new stuff. Things. Like for instance, shelving. One of the big things the artists are working on now is some cool new stuff for shelving. So that'll come in a few weeks, and that'll be really cool.
So it doesn't look as boring.
Yeah, it's not just shelving units, and factory hopefully feels more like a factory.
Actually, is the plan to completely replace them, or do you want to like have some factories have the old shelves still?
No,
and
completely replace.
Okay.
Yeah, like
so-
you'll still see these shelving units, right? Like
Mhm.
these little like the box holders won't go away, but they'll probably be like a storage only type of thing. Like they'll just be.
Oh, you actually put them in storage. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
like where it
And
belongs,
shelving
right?
room will
Like
probably not called shelving anymore.
yeah, shelving will
But
get
yeah.
renamed to be whatever its mystery its mystery
Yeah,
update
it's
is.
secret. We're not allowed to tell it.
But yeah, that'll be
Yep.
in. It'll be really cool. Like I see the concepts every day in the art meetings, and they're kick ass. I can't wait for everybody to get it.
Yeah, that will finally push the factory from a warehouse to an actually factory.
Oh,
Because right now it's more
don't
like
get
a
me started
warehouse.
on that topic. Let's not go there.
Okay. Oh yeah, also for our regular watchers, I added a few Nightbot commands for some reoccurring questions. So yeah, I'll use them when the situation arises. You can start memorizing them and help me out in the future. But yeah, for now. Actually, haha, you're not allowed to see the. Oh no, actually, you can see the bot commands. Can you? Wait, if you click there, where does it go? Does it actually show you them? That would be good. That would be really neat, actually. I guess that's public. If that's public, you can see them. That's nice. Okay. So yeah, we're in the actual, like we're actually arrived at the point where you have to do most of your work, which is adding more stuff to the pre-generated scene, dragging stuff around, stuff like that, creating extra cover and pathways. Adding doors. How involved are you in the kill house right now, Axsom? Because there's a kill house question. Actually, pretty specific one. On one of the kill house maps, if you wall charge, it doesn't work. Is that because two walls are stacked accidentally?
I'd have to look at the map, but that's likely. Especially is it in club? If so, that's probably what happened.
Okay. So that's a somewhat common bug, I guess.
Like it happens. I'm not gonna say it's common because it.
Yeah, I mean,
be,
like it's not.
Like,
yeah, common is not the right word, but like it's.
It's like it does. It has happened before. Normally we catch these kinds of things because they Z fight, and it's super. It's super obvious. But in this case, it just didn't happen. But like, sometimes if you tell me the name of the map, I can go fix it.
Well, I just put it in level feedback. And
we'll
figure it out and blacklist the map probably. Well, not sure if that's enough to blacklist it, but.
Well, I mean, if we're doing our map update later when
I guess we can fix it.
If I know the name of the map, I just fix it then and it gets updated.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just need to know which one because it's probably not one I made. Because I think I have 14 kill house maps that I made going in this week, so that'll be fun.
People are keeping asking, so I'm gonna answer really quick. I'm from Germany. Axsom and the rest of the dev team are all from Seattle, but I'm the foreigner basically. So yeah, that's a German accent, even though it's not much. Like it's more a generic European accent, I've been told. So it's not super German. A report option for maps. Actually, we have talked about that before internally. It's like some form of map feedback would probably be good at some point.
You mean like an in-game one?
Yeah, in-game one. Like.
Yeah, so like it really depends on like what you're looking for. Like
yeah, I mean, they're looking for reporting them because they're bugged. Like to.
Yeah, that would that would be useful. I mean, having like a generic bug report feature in the game would be useful in general.
Yeah, I guess that's
you can catch
even
stuff,
more generic than that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sad the servers don't face the other way on this map. Otherwise, I could do roof access.
Yeah,
do a little roof
Someone
access.
mentioned it earlier that they played a map like that and liked it.
The problem with doing roof access right now, especially in this scenario, so think about what would happen if you're able to look in these windows and the fan is right here. What does this mean? Oh, I can open it up free of charge.
Open the fan.
Yeah,
that would be a little easy. Will we see a hotel map with revolving doors? I mean, maybe someday.
I'm big sure I don't know the future, dude.
Yeah,
Well,
hotel
I mean,
tile
yeah, I
set
mean,
could.
I
But we
can,
will,
I do and don't know the future. I mean,
yeah,
maybe big shrug. I don't know. I would love to see like the big spinny revolving door. Fucking, I'd love to see that.
that would be
I
fun for
think
sure. It would be wonky probably to
it'll
like
be
the first
super
iteration of
wonky.
implementation would probably be pretty jank.
I'm just like, I'm just thinking of the revolving door spinning in a circle and just hearing all of our gameplay engineers wheezing.
Yeah, it would need to be like you shoot it and it starts spinning.
Oh no.
It would be cool. Yeah, well, basically to give the answer a proper, the question a proper answer. We have three tile sets right now, and we're always working on more. Hotel tile set maybe in the future. Who knows?
Yeah, I have no idea. Not one of the like, not one of the ones I've been thinking about. I have a whole bunch of like potential tile sets floating around in my head for what could we do next, and unfortunately, that's not one of them. But hey, it's something I could take some time to think about. Oh hey, there it goes. I got a second try.
What?
Oh, sorry. So these doors are special, and they are actually rigged. So if I'll actually pull it out. It's got a special script on it, and I can hit a button, and it'll do stuff. So in this case, it's looking at, a little peek behind the curtain. So like if I open up these, you can see all these nodes, like these little diamonds. So this is how Level Gen knows like kind of the shape of what it's working with. So whenever I hit this button, it kind of goes, oh, it looks from this list of stuff and tries to spit something out. And in this case, it had like two different options it could do, which is this one up against the wall connecting to the dock.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, or this one that kind of hugs up against the thing. And sometimes it likes to be a bastard and only give me one of them. But in that case, it only took me 2 tries, and I got the one that was
nice.
Because if I drag it over one, like I should only get this one.
Yeah, because it isn't.
Yeah, it's not connected to this wall. Therefore, it won't spawn that because it's not appropriate.
I see. Yeah, that's one of the features I mentioned earlier, where there's like more automation going on during the level creation process, like subscripts. Also, obviously, all the physics and lighting and stuff like that is all handled by the algorithm. Nothing.
Yeah, like
Axsom
I
has to do
have the
here,
like I have the
all
like
this stuff
snap layer
is generated already.
Yeah, I have the snap layer turned on right now, and this is like all the behind the scenes stuff that like nobody ever sees or thinks about.
Yeah.
This is like, the level volumes, the reflection probes, the lighting groups, like the stuff that you never think about.
Audio as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Part of the audio.
So like that like all of that stuff is contained within these like these lovely L pieces.
Is there a higher bug testing for the Pro League? If a bug map made it into the Pro League, that would be harsh. Well, there's no. It's not like the Pro League can choose which maps they play on, so they just use the regular pool. But usually, if there's a bugged map in the map pool, someone points it out, or we find it ourselves fairly quickly, and we just ban those maps. We can blacklist them really easy on our server. So even if the map is live, we can just flip a button in the database, and it will not come up in game.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, there's been instances where people will report a map with a fairly egregious bug, and I'll just tell Ozzy, and within like 2 minutes, nobody will ever play that map again until we fix it and unblacklist it. So it's not like we have to push out an update. We just go server. Like, the server will have a list of like, say, 150 maps, and it just goes, hey, don't pick that one. It goes, all right. So even though everybody's downloaded the map, you'll just never see it. Until, of course, someone like me or Sando goes back in and fixes the problem, and then we unblacklist it.
Yeah. Sure. So for all these randomly generated maps, is it only the walls that get generated and you all fine-tune internal objects? That's not quite it. I mean, it's the biggest part is the walls, and the different rooms are getting pieced together, as you mentioned earlier. And for some rooms, there's cover will spawn, for others not. Like, Factory is actually the most free flow map for the level designers. If you look at, if you watch tomorrow's stream, where Sandwich will make some Factory, Killhouse and C-Store maps, there's much more stuff that's getting pre-generated. But even here, as you saw earlier, Axsom pressed the script, like the subscript that spawned the staircase from Office and stuff like that. So there's more going on. And as I said, also a lot of the, as we just showed, like a lot of the the background stuff is being generated as well, which is really important, like the audio and lighting and physics and stuff like that.
Yeah,
we
most
also-
of the
No, go ahead.
benefit of the level generator is getting all of that, you know, the subscripts and audio and all that. Like level gen taking care of that is insanely important.
Yeah.
And remember, like level gen is also doing things like applying textures to all of these walls and all of these objects. Because like this object right here, like yeah, this one right here, this doesn't read as well on factories. It does on some of the other levels, but like this is just a generic wall section right here. So like this wall exterior 1x1 ballistic, like this is just an exterior, like this is generic. Every single tile set uses this object, but it always has different textures. We don't have like a factory specific one or a kill house specific one, or you know, one for C-store. Like they all use the same object, but level gen knows how to texture them properly for each tile set. So like level gen is doing more than just quote unquote spawning walls. Like it's texturing them and getting them oriented properly, etc., etc.
Yeah, but even then, like spawning walls is what basically starts, like it's part of the inspiration. Like if you would have to create maps from scratch, that would be way harder of a creative process, because as we saw earlier at the start of the stream, basically what's happening for Axsom most of the time is he sees the layout that's generated by the generator, and then he just looks at it and knows exactly where stuff has to go to make the map interesting. Yep. So it's not so much that he decides how the map like should be. It's more that the generator gives him the layout, and by that, like decides for him what he has to do.
It's like the level, like yeah. I just wait till the level generator gives me an interesting shape, and then I make something with it.
Yeah. And sometimes also we're working on, or Axsom specifically is working on stuff to improve the level generator even further, to create more cool stuff that will also like make it easy, like spawn more internal stuff as well. As I mentioned on other tile sets, that's a little bit further developed already. Factory is the more free flow one, but there are different solutions at play that would just create pathways between rooms and spawn cover to not block those pathways and stuff like that, or create sub rooms and things like that.
Yeah, the larger a space, kind of like this, the harder it is for level gen to kind of understand the space it's working against. Like level gen's really good at it's like that thing I showed before. It's really good at playing tile Tetris.
Yeah, it's very.
Like level gen's really good at placing these shapes. Like that's what level gen's really strong at, and like the more I can take advantage of that aspect,
and all the technical stuff as we just mentioned, like adding
bigger, right?
And
if I turn this on, like you'll notice like these things only have like one node on the floor. In other tile sets, this is like 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 4x4. So like there's a lot of nodes in each individual area. So like the potential space that it has to work with is far greater, and it gets really confused the further away you get from the wall. Like if this was a giant like 16 by 16, it's not gonna know how to properly organize this like middle of this like 16 by 16 of node, you know, a node grouping. It's gonna get really confused and get really lost the further away from the wall that it gets. So like the more I can like boil down level gen, the more it can understand the space that it's working with. So that's why like factory tends to be more free flowing, because it has all of these big open areas.
Yeah, it's harder to
kill house,
teach.
Which is kill house is very condensed. So like if we look at the standardized like floor size for factory, it's actually a 4x4. On kill house, it's half that size, 2x2.
2x2, which
so
is
it's much easier to work with.
Depending on how you look at it, even only a quarter of the size.
Yeah.
But yeah. Someone asked if the new tile sets will make the game 4 rounds. No, it will not. It will just.
No, it will not.
We will just randomly decide which
set.
tile sets you play, basically.
Yeah, so you could potentially get like factory tile set number 4 and kill house, you know, and you didn't play a C-store that round. And then the next time you play, you get like a C-store, kill house, and you know tile set number 4. Trying to figure out how an orient bomb.
Damn it, someone asked a question I could have answered with the bot command, but I scrolled up too far already to make it worthwhile. No, our level generation process is not based on a neural net. If we had infinite money, we would deploy machine learning to improve all on this, but we don't. So right now we stick to the tools we have created. And they work pretty well so far, so we're pretty happy with them. There would probably be a few things you could do with machine learning, maybe in some places, but I don't think the full generation algorithm, like the main algorithm, I don't think machine learning would be a good solution to the Tetris part of the level generation. That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, it would learn kind of like that. The machine learning would come into place.
You need to give it feedback in some way, though.
Well, so the machine learning would come more in handy, in my opinion, with placing cover, not necessarily Tetrising the levels together. Because like level gen's already really good at Tetrising its the shape of the level together within the the confines that we give it. Like sometimes it'll do something weird, like you saw where Doc was backwards, not backwards, but like it was in this little weird little alcove. But for the most part, like it knows how to place these things and connect these things optimally. But like the machine learning part would be good for doing what I'm doing right now, which is like placing the conveyor belt and getting shelving organized properly, stuff like that.
I actually have an interesting question. You say that you remove maps when they feel stale or old, with the intent to keep maps fresh. So my question is, how do you know the map is stale or old?
It's just been like we were in alpha for a real long time. Like we did that experiment. It was like, how long can we leave it in there till somebody says something? Like we did that experiment already with our testers.
Basically, it's just based on experience.
Yeah, it's based on experience.
I think we have stats on how many times the map got played, though, right, by players.
Yeah, like we have all those stats, and I don't know, Nathan I think can pull those, and we can be like, oh yep, here's the win-loss ratio for this map. We used to have heat maps, so we could actually pull all data about a map and be like, where did people get killed? And we could be more specific than that and be like, where did the attackers kill the defenders? Where did the defenders kill the attackers? We could actually see, like, it would draw out. Ozzy wrote a cool script that actually draw out all the lines. You could actually see all of the sight lines of the attacker
really
kills and the defender kills, and it was really cool.
It was really useful, actually, I believe.
Oh, super useful.
Do we not have them anymore? Or do we just not use them right now?
We still do. It's just like, since there's like a substantial more amount of data now than there was in alpha, it's like kind of a pain in the ass to do. So we need to figure out how to like boil that down into something more useful.
Yeah.
But like with the numbers we were working with then, it was realistic. But yeah, we'd have to do a lot more filtering now. I mean, if Ozzy were here, he could probably answer that question. But like, we do have access to all that data.
Will there be ladders?
What?
Ladders?
I don't
Climb
understand. Oh, ladders! It sounded like you said letter.
Oh yeah, I guess. Sorry, that's not even my German accent. That's my.
I'm scared. Tactical ladder scares me. I'm be real with you.
I don't think they're like, not in the foreseeable future. They're bringing too many issues.
Tactical ladder scares the shit out of me, because now you can get like, how do I stop you from? So like, let's say you get your tactical ladder, and like, how do I stop you from getting up into these rafters, right? Like once you're into these rafters, like, oh shit. Like, once you're up inside these rafters like an owl, like, what's gonna stop you from looking over here? Like, like, there's so many more problems that I have to solve as soon as I give you the ability to, like, climb higher than jump height. Because right now I can control where you get based on jump height, but, like, suddenly if that height becomes exponentially higher, it's like, great! All these people are gonna be up in the rafters in all of these unintended places, so if we introduce tactical ladder, we would have to do so... Like, that's a huge ask, because we have to reconfigure so much content just to be like, yeah, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, it gives me flashbacks to Spider-Man Bug. That was.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man Bug was glorious. For those who don't know what Spider-Man Bug was, so these windows right here on the wall used to stretch down much further. So they used to come down to like here. Let me just draw a straight line. So like they'd come down to like here, right? Like they cut way in. So like if you could ever get on top of an object near it, it's like, let me keep drawing these. So like it had these rungs, right? So the Spider-Man Bug was these rungs actually had full-on player collision on them. So if you got on this object right here and you could get on the lip of the window, you could jump up all the rungs and just go straight up to the ceiling and get in the rafters.
Yeah, that was
It was
not
bad.
fun. Or at
'Cause
least
you,
not
like,
fun to play against. Let's put it that
Yeah,
way.
because you'd get in here as an attacker and you just get immediately murked from the ceiling. It's like,
Yeah.
oh god, they're in the ceiling.
Yeah, it was not good.
You
Can
spent
you-
less time planning on Old Factory and more time figuring out how you could get onto the roof.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it was just like the superior option tactically. It's just how do
There's
I
a
get on
sticker in
this
the
roof?
fan. There's a sticker in the fan. In the fan, there's a sticker. Axsom, you have to remove it.
Yeah, I saw him.
I
Okay,
spotted a
remove him.
QA issue.
I know. I
I'm
saw
helping.
him too.
I'm helping.
I saw him too.
Okay. Can you make more maps where you can jump on shelving with the dock rails? So from the dock
no,
rails
go
onto
away.
shelving.
Oh, wait,
think
so
that was
like,
possible
via
at least in
these,
one
or
map.
like
Yeah,
there was one
yeah.
map I did where you could like walk up a whole bunch of fallen
No, I
stuff.
think he means the railings.
Yeah, no,
actually.
get out of here.
Yeah, no, I don't. That's not readable from the map. It's not intentional.
Yeah, that's
if
unintentional
possible.
platforming, and if that's possible, you let me know, and I'm gonna get rid of it.
Yeah.
That sounds like a SFA question right there.
That's a question I forgot when I set up the bot commands. That's gonna come up every stream. Are you looking to get to a point where maps can be fully generated on match start, so every map is
Ah,
truly unique?
no.
I can go.
That would
into
be cool
though.
as shit, but
Yeah.
no. Like we've
So-
done that before, and
Yes.
I'll do the explanation again because I like
Okay.
doing it.
Yeah,
So like,
you
let's
doing
imagine a
that
map
part.
with total chaos that's generated on the fly, and level gen is placing doors. Because you'll notice, and every time I make a level, doors are never placed manually. And why is that?
Because
So
level
if I
generation
tell
is
if
bad
I
at
tell
it.
if I tell level gen, hey, make 3 doors and make sure 2 of them are fire doors, there's a distinct possibility it's gonna do this.
Done.
Ta-da! Here's your cool, interesting level, and it makes the rest of the level, and there's no other doors, and this is the only way to get in. That's not fun for attackers.
Obviously, we could try to get level generation to be a little bit more smart about placing doors and make it more.
But you're still
clever.
gonna get stuff like that eventually.
But yeah, it's hard to completely prevent it. Basically, it's not like there are multiple reasons, and it's always like there are multiple factors, and for all of them it's the same reason that applies. It's just not worth the effort. It would be possible, but it would be really hard to do, and it's way easier for a human
Yeah,
to
it takes
do the final
me
thing, or manual
seconds to
step.
see where my doors are going to be, right? Like, I can look
Yeah.
at the top down with nothing in it and be like, here are my doors.
And done.
But with level gen, it's like, even if I tell each room to generate 1 door, so like, let's imagine this is on the fly and I can't edit this at all, and I go generate 1 door in each room, right? You're going to have a door here, 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 and 1 in here. And that'll be, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entrances that you have to cover.
Yeah, and that's
That's
not
a lot
possible.
of that's a lot of potential, and it's gonna be really hard to plan against.
Yeah. Well, basically, the thing is, we could, as I said, we could make it more smart about this and try to
Yes,
figure
we
out
could.
how to make it completely automatic. But it's just not worth the effort for 2 reasons. A, it's really hard to teach it make it become good at it, and it's way easier to get a level designer to do it manually. But also, it would not have just to be good about it. It would have to be good about it every time. Like it has because
Consistency is hard.
there's no QA, right? You need 100% consistency. If it generates, like if there's a 0.1% chance of deploying a completely or generating a completely broken map, then that's not good enough, because that means one of those 1,000 maps will be completely unplayable, and that's not acceptable. So that's like it's it's easier resource wise, and it's also good for like the QA step that we're having. And there's also some technical reasons. Basically, how our lighting works is that when Axsom is done here, this map is going to go in the oven, and the light maps will be, not literally, but the light maps will be baked, as the term is. And that takes around 20 minutes or so. You don't want that to happen during your loading screen.
Yeah,
So
maybe in 15 years when Due Process 2 comes out and we get everybody's
RTX.
got ray tracing, everybody's
Yeah.
RTX, everybody's RTX is on, everybody's ray tracing, we could start to get away with that.
Yeah,
most
because
of
then we
that
could
effort
change
is
the
in-
lighting
yeah.
system to something else, something
Yep.
more dynamic. But right now, the trade-off is either we have good lighting, or we.
Well, it's
or
not just that we have
we
good
don't
lighting, we
generate
have
on the
lighting
fly.
you can toggle.
Yeah, that's important as well, right? Because we have
That's the
power
more
panel.
important part is
Yeah.
toggling the lights.
Yeah,
is
like
being
fixed
able to
lighting
shoot
would
the
probably be
lights
not
out.
too
That's why
hard,
we have
but
that's why we have to do the big maps. Because if we just
Yeah.
went unlit, like who cares?
yeah, that's true. Good point. So yeah, but yeah, it's a good question. It comes up every time. I'll try to. It's an interesting question. That's why it's coming up every time.
Yeah, the people want to know.
Have you considered? We actually talked about that earlier. Have you considered post-game map feedback? Well, it would definitely be good to report broken maps. I'm not sure how much value there would be in like having a
So like
thumbs up,
yeah,
thumbs
so
down
like
system.
think
We
think
talked
about what's
it.
gonna happen if you do a thumbs up, thumbs down, especially in a game like this, with both a casual and a competitive matchups. Like my thought process on do I want an in-game thumbs up, thumbs down is no, because people are just gonna thumbs up maps they won and thumbs down maps they lost.
I mean, I guess you could
That's not gonna happen
filter
with
data
everybody.
based on that.
Potentially, but like that's my fear is that will
Yeah.
happen. I much prefer people telling me what they didn't like about a map, because like sure, like I can make something like oops all toxic and that thing's probably going to get upvotes like crazy because it was unique. But like how do I determine what like if I see a kill house map, just a generic kill house map, get a shitload of thumbs up, how do I determine what people liked about that? Like if it's just like, well, this was just a map that I made, why does everybody like this? I didn't put anything custom in it, so I just like, why is this so popular? I don't have a way to divine that information based around people literally telling me in like level feedback. Like sure, it's a good thing that allows me to go into level feedback and ping people and go, this got a shitload of upvotes. What do you like about that?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like
basically
I can't like
it's not super
solution.
useful to just know if a map is good or not, because you still don't know why it is good or not.
Yeah, it's like I want to know why maps are good, right? Like I want to know what people specifically liked about things, so I can do more things like that. Like even right here, like these boards, right? Like I asked, like people gave me feedback about I like being able to jump, like to platform over to other parts of shelving. I like being able to go across these things. So it's like, well, I started adding more and more things like it, and it's got really good feedback. So now it's a feature of the room now. It's like this is what I'm talking about. Like I can't like divine like this is why people liked this thing based on a thumbs up, solely based on a thumbs up, thumbs down. So like the need for feedback will always be real.
Yeah, and if you have any feedback, positive or negative,
absolutely,
head to the Discord, to the level feedback channel.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to give the negative feedback either. Like I love negative feedback. It's how we get better. Like if I'm doing something that's not fun, like I want to know that, because that's the kind of the beauty of like how we do our system, right? Is that we can make all of these adjustments. Like if somebody doesn't like a map, like hey, it can be gone. Like it can literally like the thing that was painful can be gone in a week, rather than 6 months.
Yeah, that's the nice thing. We have a pretty short feedback loop for this kind of stuff. If you tell Axsom, hey, I really like this feature of the map, and a few people agree, then he can just go in and create 10 more maps with that kind of feature.
Like with offices, right? Like when we started putting the really teeny tiny offices in, like the feedback was, this is fun, maybe it could be bigger. So we fucking made them bigger, and people are like, now it's gotten to the point where it's a meme of make it bigger. So it's like, what if we had oops all office? And I'm just like, no.
I want oops all conveyors.
It's a lot of conveyors. So you think I have some pretty strong opinions on what conveyors could be, but that's not. I don't think it's appropriate for
the stream.
Yeah, for the stream.
Fair enough. Bring it up in the level meeting, I guess.
I mean, I've already talked. Like I've already talked about it in level meetings.
By the way, there's is there a way to disable player collision on the conveyor thing that's like vertical, like the flipped up one?
Just a moment.
Yeah, place power first.
So like this boy?
Yes.
So why? So what problem are you trying to solve?
People sitting on top of it. It's kind of unexpected.
I mean, so how are people getting up here? So I imagine
I forgot, but I saw a video where
get on this, get on this, get on this,
something like that.
Yeah, that's my guess. Is you're like if you're able to get on these, or it doesn't matter, but like if you're able to get on these, Like if this was here, you're able to get on this. Like
Yeah.
I don't. I would have to play the game and see it exploit. I would have to see the exploit that's happening here in order
I mean,
for
it's
me to
not that big
understand.
of an exploit. It's just like you
Yeah,
end up
like, it doesn't-
on an unexpected vertical hate. Well, vertical hate's kind of double.
It's
but you
true.
know what I
Like
mean.
this is unintentional platforming, but at the same time, it's like what does being up here get you? So if I'm
I think
I'm
they
up
use
here,
it in the dark.
yeah,
And
it's like if I'm
then
up here
it's
as a dude, like
kind of tricky
what kind of
position to
yeah,
figure
it's
out.
like what kind of cover do I have versus someone who's back
None.
here pieing off and he sees your foot. Like
No,
what?
it doesn't give you cover. It's just like an unexpected position to be in.
It's true. It's
basically.
unexpected,
not a
but
big deal.
like what does it give you? I don't see. Like, sure, I could get rid of that collision, but now you're gonna get people like trying to sit inside this thing, so you don't see them.
No.
Like, you're gonna get some really weird,
Yeah, that's
like
probably the
people
bigger
jumping
issue.
straight through this thing, right? Like,
Yeah, it's-
the alternate solution is I take this and just go. I do the fuck it option and extend it infinitely. So now you can't get it on it ever, but eventually you're going to get into a position where perhaps this is up against office and you want to jump over it, and well, haha, now you can't. Fuck you, and you're going to be
you jump
confused.
into an
You're not going to
invisible
know
wall.
why.
Yeah. I mean, the nice solution would probably be, well, it's probably harder. I'm not sure if you have a preset for that. Would be to, like, if you jump on top of it, you always slide down, so it's not like.
Don't talk to me about slide zones. That we used to have those, and they were Roblox. Oof, just.
Okay, I guess we keep it. It's not too big. It's just like something that entered my mind again because I saw the thing, and I remembered the video where I think it was Feed or someone who was doing it on stream.
Yeah, I don't.
They realized they couldn't get up there. They turned off the lights, and then they shot attackers from there because they never figured out where he actually was shooting from. Someone asked, so I'm gonna answer really quick. A slide zone is basically a part of an invisible element of the map, which tells your player model, if you step on this, you're gonna slide in this direction. It allows you to prevent people from staying in a certain spot, like on top of something you don't want them to be, for example. Usually, like, there is a player collision zone that allows you to not go through, but stand on top.
Yeah, like some of them may still exist.
Not go through
but
and
I don't
stand
think
on
they're
top, I
functional.
guess. But yeah, slide zones can be a little bit wonky. It's a theoretical solution, or it's a solution to a certain
Anytime
problem,
you
but it
tell the
introduces
server to
other
push
problems.
Anytime you tell the server to push a player around, bad things happen.
Yeah, it's tricky with networking. It's not like it's not solvable. It's just like it's tricky to do.
Time,
Probably
effort,
not worth the
etc.
effort. Yeah. Like to a lot of it's actually like to a lot of questions that come up, especially during these level generation things, but also during community hours in general or in Discord. Like a lot of the time, the answer is just like, if we would have infinite money, we would probably do that, or at least consider it. But a lot of things are just like, we have to set priorities, right? We're a small team of around 20 people. That includes everyone: art team, engineers, level team, community management, PR, administrative stuff, all of that. So we're a pretty small team. We have to prioritize really, really hard to get stuff done and make this game even better. Okay, I think we're getting close, right?
Yep.
Not too much
I didn't.
more left.
So yeah, one thing I didn't like was when you
I
come
guess
around
that's
this way,
done yet.
like you eventually you pop out kind of in the same like sight line right
Area
here.
storage, yeah.
Yeah, so like I just wanted you, if you go this way, you end up getting the lights, but you're also not like directly in line of sight from people down here. Like you're kind of protected a little bit. So like if you're coming
planning
around
on
this
adding more of those planks, right? Because right now this area is inaccessible. Oh,
yeah,
you're
I was
moving
gonna
this over.
Yeah,
There
I'm
we
just
go.
gonna. Yeah, that's what I was doing, was rotating them. Yeah, so you can potentially have a dude like back here, like sniping out this way, or covering office from this weird angle that is unexpected, but like the fact that you know you can get over here.
Okay, can we, after you place it, can we get a good look at the map really quick? so we can figure out.
Yeah, I haven't done storage yet or
Okay,
servers.
so green door will be north, right? You said in storage.
Yeah, green door will be up here somewhere in storage.
Okay.
Green door storage, fan over here in shelving, and then docks has a red door leading to
So
office.
attackers can either go from dock pretty straight to towards the bomb. They can go fan to get access to office, I guess. Well, from dock as well. Or they go green or fan to get to power.
Yep.
And the defenders can try to get up on the shelving units from office over there and get like some sneaky angles
You
from
can
this
also
corner
you
piece.
you can cover bomb from up here.
Yeah, the bomb is rotated in a way that you have to defuse it from the north side, right? From the north.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can either sit
So
in
yeah,
office
you can
and
cover it
sit
from
here
up
in
there
shelving.
and from office. Yeah. Okay. Looks like a good map.
One thing I wish was easier was getting it'd be really cool if we had like traversable objects inside storage that would allow you to get up a Z level, so you could wall charge into here from storage. That way you're like, okay, we entered green room, we want to wall charge up here just so we can get on the shelving in an unexpected way, because we know somebody's going to be up here.
Basically a staircase or something to get you up there.
Yeah, but I mean, you could still go get up here via fan, right? But it's like if you want to if you know somebody's going to be up here, you just blow their butt up.
Yeah, that would actually be really interesting, because I assume this is going to be a favorite defender spot, like sitting in this corner over there.
Everybody's going to be up here.
Yeah, and having the ability to just blow the wall up behind them would be a really cool play, and would be risk reward for the defenders to sit there. If the attackers bring a wall charge, they're going to blow your butt. But that would be interesting. What could that be? Because just spamming staircases over everywhere doesn't seem.
Hey, I mean, it's got to make thematic sense.
Yeah.
Like, what is this object? I don't know. I haven't put too much thought into that. Other than it would be cool if I had something that allowed me to do this.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a tank tipped on its side, and you can walk up the the curve of it or some shit. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would need to be something that's easily readable from the map, but something like that could work.
The eternal struggle.
Yeah,
must be readable
because that's
from
one of the biggest thing you always have in mind when making maps. Like, it has to be readable from the map, because players will not be able to learn those maps. They have to look at it.
Yeah, you'll hear me constantly when people are like, "It would be really cool if you had this object or this object." I'm like, "How does it read from the map?" And that's you get met with big ... dots, and it's like, that's what thought.
Yeah, because
it's super important for things to be readable from the map.
90 seconds to figure out the map and make a plan. So if they spend more than, I say, 30 seconds to figure out what the map is, they're gonna have a hard time coming up with the plan. So everything has to be really, really easy to understand from the map, while also trying to.
This is why you don't see a lot of over-unders.
Yeah, those are tricky.
So bridges, so even doing little bridges like this can be, or kind of the limit of what we want to do right now. Because if we have a lot of times I see people, well, why don't we have tunnels that go under the map and pop up somewhere else? I'm like, how do I tell people there's a tunnel down there? How do I tell people where the entrance is and make that understandable and readable in less than 90 seconds?
Yeah, exactly. That's a question we actually answered earlier, but the person asks if we will update tile sets. Yeah, there's actually an update for factory we're planning or in work right now. So we definitely add more stuff, and
even Kill House gets new stuff, right? Like the map that's probably gotten the least amount of attention has been C Store, but I mean C Store has had I'm gonna call them invisible upgrades, like level gen upgrades. So we changed tellers to be a sub room rather than an object, so you get more interesting shapes of the tellers. You can get Z shapes and squiggles and L's and stuff like that, because those we had to hand place those, and hand placing those is a pain in the butt.
Derby has some feedback for your map.
Thank you, Derby.
You said that it needs to be readable from the map, and then you align your computers with the office crossbar.
Yeah, no, so don't worry when we update these offices, because we're gonna we're doing updates to the office and the shelving area, and don't worry, Derby, I got you. I made the request to get rid of those crossbars.
Very nice.
I got you, Derby. I know whenever this question comes up, I know it's you.
So someone asked a very technical question. I think I can give a broad answer. I'm not sure if you know any more specifics. Basically, they want to know a little bit more about how level generation thinks, and they ask if it's using a tree structure. And if we look at the right here at the hierarchy, that's a tree structure. And basically, I think what it does, it starts with the starting rooms, and then every room has potential
I can
subnodes
actually
it could
pull this
create.
in. I can pull this in. So
Right?
like
It has
here you
like,
go. Let's
if
look
I
at the
remember
level.
correctly, it has like
Let's look at the level
different
structure.
percentages
So
for different
this
things.
is the level generator. These are all the scripts that we use. So what it does is it goes, okay, I'm gonna start. What's my current configuration? Okay, this is factory room collection. Let's open this bitch up. All right, here's everything that can potentially spawn, and it goes from top to bottom. So it's gonna go, you know, here, dock, main floor, office, shelving, and then a side room. And it's gonna go straight down that. So in this case, it goes.
Like every room has a percentage, right? Or like a chance
Yeah.
to
So in
spawn.
this case, like this one's 100% because it spawns one minimum docks, maximum docks one. How many rooms can I potentially pick from? One. It's dock. So like we go down to the main
I
floor,
see, yeah.
and it's gonna go. Well, how many main floors do I want? I want two out of two main floors, out of two potential sizes, and these are the same thing.
Yeah.
The same thing for office. It's gonna spawn
And
one office.
the cool
it's gonna
thing,
spawn
if
one
I
shelving.
may interrupt you really quick, the cool thing is Axsom can now go in there if he wants to and feels creative and change all those numbers around and move things around and completely change what the generator does. And all of a sudden you get a completely different thing. Basically, that's it's kind of what you did with Clubhouse, right?
Yep.
And so that makes fun
like,
for fun experiments and stuff like that.
Yep. So like even like I mentioned earlier, like with the side rooms, you'll notice like something going on here is I say, hey, pick two, min two, max two, but there's three potential selections. If we kind of pull this out a bit, you can see it's toxic, the walled room, which is storage, and then the 1F room, which is servers. So it's gonna pick 2 out of 3 of these. So
yeah, that's why
you
we didn't
will
go to toxic room
sometimes
here.
get this room.
Yeah, they also have the
the
same pick weight, right? Yeah.
So after it does that, everything I just listed is this step right here, which is called tiles and walls. So then we look, there's actually more things called like pre-room prop pass. It's this button right here, so it'll run anything in this box, pre-room, it'll run on the entire level. So you know, if I added like 6 more things and it was like, hey, I want you to run all of these before you do anything else, it will do that on every single room. So in this case, what this does, so we open this pass up, and what is it doing? Oh, it's spawning the roofs. So when I hit this button, it spawns all of these roof objects. So it will continue to go through level gen like that. So it'll go, okay, well, now that we're done generating the pre-room pass, it'll do the centerpiece pass. This one has nothing. Other tile sets do have centerpiece objects. Other pieces do have things that spawn on the flow passes. Flow pass will actually spawn things and like not only can flow pass be global as it can be per room. So we'll see that flow spawns the upper wall pieces. For docks, it spawns the semi trailers and the trailer loaders and stuff like that. So like it's pretty complicated, and it runs through all of these things from top to bottom in order as we click through these buttons.
Yeah. And it basically tries to, when it spawns a new thing, it tries to snap it to the others based on those nodes you showed earlier. And then just stores the location in the level data, and that's what we see here. And yeah, it's all, as we can see on the right, it's all hierarchy, like it's a big hierarchy basically, starting with the level generator, which contains the rooms. Every room has objects in it, or sub-rooms even, and stuff like that.
Yeah, so like even when I have this open right here, like you can see a bunch of the different the pass names, right? So it's like, look, you have like right here, props in room, pass name, prop pass roof, prop pass office, upper walls, shelving, you know what I mean? Like you can see everything that it's doing kind of in the order that it's doing it. And it does that for, you know, if I close that and open up this one, it's like you can see them again, like it's doing roughly the same passes per room. Like you'll get different passes, like if I go to cargo office, like it'll have different ones.
Yeah, every room has its own.
You know, this one has the office roofs and accents pass. Like then it'll have a cover pass, which is going to spawn different things in office than another room because we configured it that way.
Yeah, it's pretty modular and powerful.
Well, it's extremely powerful, especially like don't get me started on subrooms. I can talk about those things all day. They're cool as shit.
And now you're like, basically what we're doing for different tile sets is we taking all those things you just saw and replacing them with different values and different rooms and different rules. So technically we could go in and change the rules for factory, but at that point, like then you have 2 different kinds of factories, which is not what we want. We want every tile set to feel unique.
I don't know. I don't know about that. So look at something like Kill House, right? Like it has a wealth of different rooms that it can pick. Like, so a
That's
kill
true.
house with a kill house with a vault is massively different from a kill
Yeah, that's
house
true.
without a
I mean,
vault.
Kill House is a little special in that regard, though. But yeah,
Kill house is our
it's a good
testing ground
point.
for things. But I'm saying
Yeah.
like we can do that type of thing. And more not that we can, is like we're actively doing it.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just saying, like in most cases, like
Yeah,
I was going through the thought experiment, like okay, we have all those things we could change, so we could go in and say, yeah, okay, every factory now has like must have toxic and or even 2 toxics
Oh,
because people
of
like
course.
toxic. And like office is one of the side rooms, and maybe it spawns like 10 side rooms because we're crazy or something like that. And at that point, you have like a completely different rule set. And I guess we do that for Kill House, but for Factory and C because it's our testing ground. But for Factory and C Store, if we would go that way, we would rather make this a new tile set later because it's kind of tile sets are supposed to be kind of like their own thing. And so, yeah, because this is the same system. That's the cool thing about it, right? It's the same system for every tile set. So you make a new tile set, it's the same system. It's the same algorithm that works. It just works with different values. So we don't have to write a new algorithm, but we have to give it different stuff to work with. And
yeah, it's like I have to change. So we call them wrappers. So like if I bring that thing back. So like let's open up. Let's do the main floor. So like you'll notice like the wall pass here. Like it has its own. If I open up the wall, like you can see this. There's only one possible thing that can spawn, which is the brick wall section.
Yeah.
For factory. So on other tile sets, there might be 2 or 3 different options, and these all have pick weights. And there's all sorts of different configurable options. Like, can it collide with other props? Can it collide with the floor? Is it placeable across? You know what I mean? Like, there's a whole bunch of different. I have so many tools to tweak exactly how this thing can spawn. It's like I said, getting rooms to stick together isn't the tough part. Getting it to understand how to fill that space well with all of these options, it's
that's
pretty
the harder
difficult.
part. Yeah, and that's exactly like that's actually you could see very well like based on that how why what I mentioned earlier briefly, like the different tile sets are in a different state of development regarding level generation, and that's not necessarily like on a technical or it's on a technical side, but it's not like the programming of how the generator works. It's more like they're set up differently, and you can like the more you put in here in the setup process, the more it will do. So on Kill House, there are more props set up that will spawn automatically, while Factory is a little bit more empty because it's harder to set them up in a way that they make sense automatically. Yeah, as I said, it's just different levels of development, and Axsom is working on improving the generator to like this is your job, right? Part of your job is to set up the rules for.
I also really like working on the level generator. Like,
yeah.
To me, it's just like a big endless puzzle. Like getting level gen to do what I want ends up feeling like an open-ended puzzle, kind of like a Zectronics game. If you've ever played like Opus Magnum or something like that,
games.
Yeah, to me, working on it feels like that. So like I will just like randomly do shit on weekends sometimes, just because I'm bored and want something to do. It'll be like, let's go mess with subrooms and try to get it to do something interesting. And like I've shown kind of on stream before, like making like that pic, the layouts of club that's made out of subrooms where it's like bars, the shape of the bar is based on the like that type of shit. Like
I think we showed that last week.
Yeah, that's the more interesting stuff that I really want to see level gen start taking advantage of, because it takes a ton of work off my hands. Because now I'm not trying to teach level gen how to place a bar. I'm teaching level gen to go, oh, this piece right here is a bar, and just
and as we mentioned earlier, it's good at placing Tetris pieces. It's really good. Yeah, it makes your life easier. Like it means that you have to spend less time on levels, and it also obviously generates more interesting situations because you don't have to do them manually. So it just comes up with weird stuff from time to time.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, though, I don't think I'd ever want level gen to be 100% generated, because you still want that human touch. You don't want it to feel like the computer's screwing you over. Like, you don't want to just get randomly generated a long hallway with no cover, because it's going to happen, trust me. I've seen it. But, like, even still, like, you're not going to see, like, the more interesting things that could happen that a human would be able to do. Like, I know a lot of our older testers remember the one map where I took a toxic vat and I made it look like a forklift had fallen into the goo, and then I put the bomb on the forklift, the forks on the forklift, so you had to like take this, you had to take this like toxic fat and like work your way to get to the bomb that was being held aloft by this forklift, and it was such an interesting like scenario that people were taking screenshots of it. They posted in Discord under a spoiler tag, and I thought that was just the cutest thing to me. But it's like the level gen will never be able to do things like that. Like it won't have the knowledge to be able to go, oh, this could be cool, right? Like it's just going to work with the objects that we give it. It's not going to have the creativity to do something interesting like that.
Yeah, sure. You want the ability to give it a personal touch here and there.
Exactly. I mean, it's not going to be able to do oops all toxic either. I mean, I could tell it to spawn 1 million toxics, but it's not going to. Right now, it's not going to have the object. So it's like it would take me. So like, let's say we want oops all toxic to be a thing, right? Like we want every factory to be oops all toxic now. I would have to spend weeks making all of the objects, all the bridge objects, all the tank objects, everything that normally like right now I'm hand making because I'm still determining if I want this to be a thing. I'd have to hand make all of those things, shove it into the level generator, teach it how to, to fill this space, and that would take me several weeks because that is such a large, like basically making a new tile set at that point. It's like I have to make all of these new things because it's just not how factory spawns right now. I could do it. It's not hard. I already know how to do it in my head. It's just a matter of expanding it and doing it, which takes time.
Now here's a question. I think the answer is the art team doesn't want this, if I remember correctly. Will you guys add the same tile to 2 different tile sets, like a bathroom to factory and C-store?
Potential's there. Bathroom used to exist. Like, if any of our ultra old testers remember the old ops offices, they used to have a bathroom in them.
Yeah, that's true. In some cases,
like
yeah, but
we
in
totally
general...
could. But am I going to slap the C-store wrapper for the bathroom onto a factory? No. Would I make a new space that had its own rule set that fit the theme of factory? Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, basically we want to, like, tile sets, there's also like the artistic point that we want tile sets to be unique, because they're supposed to play different, right? They're what make the game, like if every map would only be
Actually, we can do something fun after this. I can actually drop the C-store bathroom room into factory, and I can show you what I'm talking about.
Yeah, sure. Like if every map would just be C-store, if you only have one tile set, that would get pretty, like, it would be fun still because you still have like the generation and the variations from different variations of C-store. Like from a tactical point, it would still be interesting, right? You have to make new plans every round anyway. But just from a variety point of view, it would be fairly boring to always play in the same 5 rooms or whatever C-store has.
Over and over.
Yeah, so you could go the road of just like adding more rooms overall and make like one big mixed tile set, but that would get pretty messy from an artistic point of view. Like, it would be hard to find more rooms that make sense in the same theme. So instead, we're trying to make each of them very unique and very different. So if you're playing, like, it really feels like you're playing a completely different area and not just like a restructure of the other one. So
yeah, imagine us putting a vault on every single tile set.
Yeah. Yeah. Also gameplay-wise, we have these big what's the word? Well, important pieces. Of the map. But yeah, it's like something small like a bathroom. Maybe that's probably not too bad to have a bathroom on servers, on factory and on C-store, but you don't want to go overboard with this. In general, they should feel unique and different to each other. Okay, that's a derby suggestion. Can you have the truck be raised up in the air by a bunch of forklifts?
Oh, I totally could. It'd be hilarious.
It's a pretty good idea.
Just put like an army of forklifts down there and have it picked up. Yeah, I could make it look like that, but
it makes no sense.
It makes no sense, but it would be hilarious.
They get there? I guess they got trapped there. They drove in, and then the army of defenders, or maybe those are like remote controlled forklifts.
Yeah, maybe.
They set up a trap, and as soon as the truck stopped,
drones.
It's a lot of like drone forklifts coming, swarming up and picking up the truck.
Don't mind me.
Oh yeah, another thing we kind of omitted earlier. Another thing the level generator does is creating or setting the level in the mid scene or mid ground. It's called, I believe. So all the stuff you see right now around the level.
Yeah, I had to make myself a safe spot for a safer spot for the attackers. So like before, like a defender could just poked his head out here and look straight down, but now I've got all these really tall.
If they're really good, they could still throw a Molotov over there. But
that's a pretty long throw.
Pretty long throw, yeah.
You want to risk it? Go for it. Eventually, like the more you do it, the more fire it goes on the gameplay engineer to make a trophy system for this thing, so it just shoots it out of the sky. That's how I'd do it, but I'm not a gameplay engineer. Okay, I think we're done. Oh wait.
I'm not sure if we can answer this question. Any plans to add alternate trucks like helicopters on existing when you tile set?
I'm gonna just if I could give the wink, if I could put wink emoji in chat, I would.
We'll leave it at that.
I'm gonna just leave it at that. Okay, cool. I think this one's done. Just gotta give it a look.
This is an answer I can. That is a question I can answer because we talked about this in previous streams quite a bit. Will you guys add moving parts to maps, like platforms that move left to right or up and down, stuff like that? For the most part, not. It would make interesting. Like from a level design perspective, it could be interesting, but from a technical perspective, it's hell to implement them without. Yeah, it's a nightmare. It's going to be really hard to get them work properly and not causing any issues. It's just really, really tricky. Maybe one day, but like it would need a really good justification. Like basically, level team would have to come up with like, this is a really cool tile we want to do. It can create really interesting tactical situations and stuff like that. And then maybe if we have the time, the resources, we could think about trying to implement something like that. But it's just like, it's not worth the effort really, for the most part. It just causes too many potential bugs.
Yeah, like if we made conveyors move people around, like good luck on net syncing all of that.
Yeah.
Like you got fucking 3 people on there, like all shooting at each other. Uh-oh.
Yeah, but in general, if you have like you mentioned it earlier, like pushing players on the server causes network issue. It's hard to implement network.
If this was like an N64 game and you're all playing on local, like on the same thing, and there's no question about where somebody is, sure. But as soon as you introduce the internet and latency, it's like, oh god.
Yeah. Moving conveyor bomb with a button to switch directions. Yeah, that would be fun.
Oh yeah, I don't deny that would be a ton of fun, but the amount of effort to make that like, work in the
not super
sense
janky.
That you can, it's not janky broken. And weird, and you want this to be a competitive thing instead of just a haha look I did a thing like.
Yeah. It would probably not to be hard to set like an initial like first iteration, but then just actually polish it so it doesn't cause weird issues where people are getting pushed into things they shouldn't. Like even vault doors right now, and they're like pretty minimal movement, I guess. Well, they're moving big, but they're moving slow and stuff like that. But even vault doors can cause issues right now where players are getting pushed through walls. So yeah, they're working for the most part, but even those have their issues. It's a good example actually for a moving part that's not trivial. Like you have to find the issues it can cause and then find solutions for those, and this can be tricky. Also, you always has to consider like what happens if players blow it up, maybe, or like can they blow it up? And what happens if they do?
What happens if you wall charge and it blows up? Like does everything just turn off? Like is there just a hole? Do they what? How are these objects all set up? Are the objects aware? Do the objects need to be aware of each other in case things are pushing from one to the other? Like what's going on here? If there's cover on it and it gets blown up, like what happens? Like if there's moving cover and a piece of that conveyor belt gets blown up, like does it all shut off? Does it like if we make these things fall off the conveyor belt as they hit their new quote unquote endpoint, like how does it know how do we do these like there's so many unanswered questions that need to be solved. And then you ask yourself, is it worth it?
Yeah. Like you need a really good justification to go through all of this. Here's an interesting suggestion for the topic reading from map. Can you move the bomb sign from a map to the side of the bomb so you can easier, like at a glance, see which direction the bomb faces from the map?
That'd be a good. That's a good piece of feedback for. It was UI UX feedback in Discord. If that's an issue and it's hard to tell what way the bomb is facing because that thing is over it, that is a good piece of feedback.
So is that that's not something part of the level, right? That's actually.
Yeah, that's an audio. That's part of the UI object that goes over it.
Okay, so that's not something you could change.
I could move it. Like I could move it.
Okay.
But that's not really my decision to remove that thing. That UI UX team put that there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So you technically could move it, but it's not your department.
Yeah, I totally could, but I'm not going to because it wasn't my.
I think we can see then, right? If you go into the correct view, you can see the things floating over the map.
Yep. So here, I did something real quick. So somebody asked if we could put a C-store bathroom in factory. I added the C-store bathroom to the spawn list.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what dumb shenanigans happen if it spawns at all. So we'll see. So let me hit the button.
Did you finish up the other map already, or did you save it?
Yeah, no, it's done.
Oh, okay.
I saved it.
Didn't even got a final look at it.
That's alright. It died. And by died, I mean it's saved on the computer.
It's in the oven. Well, not yet.
And we get to see if I broke level gen or not. I might have broken level gen by adding that thing there. We'll see, because it's taking it a while to think.
Yeah, I guess there are situations where it just doesn't know what to do and then breaks. If you set it up, like if you configure it.
I might have broken. Yeah, I might have broken it.
It's like it. Or it's just thinking really, really hard. Yeah. One of the two.
Yeah, I might have to go recover this bastard. Yeah, I think I broke him. Level gen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I broke him. Here, hang on, give me a sec.
Okay.
Can I turn off my for a moment?
Yeah, let me switch to a different scene.
Yeah, just let me know. I'm gonna have to like do a little bit of surgery here.
Do I go to this one? Without this, maybe. There we go. But okay, switch over. Yeah, we'll be right back. With when the level when Unity is restarted.
Unity's being a bugger. I wonder why that was. I'm gonna actually have to go look in that because there's nothing like there's not anything so absurdly different about that tile. So there's something else going on, and I don't know what it is off the top of my head. So I'd have to go in and look.
Yeah,
because that shouldn't have happened, and I don't know why, and it'd be useful to know why.
Yeah.
All right, Unity's launching, so give me.
Yeah, no worries. I've switched to the QA scene.
Yeah, so it's a good time for questions.
Yeah, it's a very good time for questions. Will roof access be considered? We talked well sometimes, or I guess he means
I've made
for tile sets.
I've made roof access.
No, I think what he's talking about is
or do you mean like
access with like a helicopter or something. I mean,
maybe. I mean, it depends what we do. Tile sets down the line. If it becomes worthwhile to do, like it'll happen. Like I think it's a cool as shit idea. Technically, we've already done it in the past.
Yeah, we did some very wonky solutions to that.
Oh, no, I just mean like you weren't there for it. You've never seen it. Like we used to have helicopter only entrance, but that was like 6 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Like you always spawned on top of the level, and it would drop you off on the roof, and you would jump off the sides towards the room that you wanted to enter. But that was a long time ago. I'll tell you what, though, it oh, this is unfortunate. Unity, why are you being an asshole?
Oh, that's a interesting suggestion I didn't heard yet. I'm not sure if I like it though. Can we get a catwalk with a glass floor? We could make a path harder to traverse. So basically, enemies can see from below better. I guess technically you can look through catwalks right now, but
I mean,
you don't get a good look.
Are you asking? So if
is the glass breaking if you shoot it? It's an interesting suggestion.
So like what problem what problem or what interesting thing are you trying to make happen? Are you trying to make it so you can go through the catwalk floor? Is that what's being suggested, or you can just see through the catwalk floor? Which of these two is true?
I assumed seeing to make it like
Because that
very
already
exposed.
exists.
But yeah, technically that exists.
Yeah, we do have the cutout catwalks that you see in Toxic. Like
Yeah.
Toxic has the cutout floors. That already exists.
Yeah, true.
Is it glass? No, but does it, is it solving the same problem? Yes. It is if the feature is I want glass because I want to be able to shoot it out and cause people to fall. Aha, that could be interesting.
Mm.
It's like if the glass, say if we made glass that had health and you had to shoot it 3 times then it broke, like you could put that in Toxic and now it's like somebody's walking along, attempting to attack you, and you shoot the floor out from below them and you get you dunk them in the Toxic tank.
That's actually
like
a really good
solution. Game show.
That's actually a really good solution
like
to the suggestion of traps. Like it's just like a built-in trap. Like defenders can shoot it and you fall.
I mean, that's the type of stuff that I want to see, but unfortunately in Toxic that would be bad because now it's like, think about that. Like let's say we made every single catwalk in Toxic like that, where you could shoot the floor. What would happen? Well, defenders would spawn an office and shoot out every single floor, so attackers can't go through that room anymore.
Yeah, and they would not use it as a trap. They would just deny the pathway. Yeah.
Exactly. Like that's the type of stuff you're going to see, which is why we don't do it. Now, could you potentially make an object that's like that? Like maybe it's a very special piece that's marked on the map that has this information on it that I can place and LevelGen can place. Maybe we do it there. So you know how right now I've got those like broken bridge sections? Maybe instead of being a broken bridge section, it's the glass section that you can walk on, but you can shoot it and that you could potentially kill someone with it. Maybe that becomes a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That I would be interested in doing, because that to me sounds interesting, because that means a defender has to be watching that point and wait for an attacker to go on top of it. And that's a risk for both teams, because if a defender, at the same time, a defender tries to walk over this thing and an attacker shoots it, well, you just kill the defender. So it's like, this could be something that's interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I think we're back.
Are we back?
Let me turn on my screen, share screen 1. Boop. All right, sorry about the technical difficulties.
And there were a bunch of questions I couldn't get to. I think wait, what's going on? So many people are joining. Are we getting raided or something? There we go. Pango raided us. Hey, with 600 viewers. Welcome, I guess.
600.
Nice.
Welcome.
Might have to switch scene. Really
I'm hoping
quick.
I didn't. I'm hoping LevelGen is
Oops.
not totally busted now.
There we go. No, wait. What is it doing? Why is my? Okay. There we go. I think we could. Let me check, but no, it looks good. Yeah. So welcome everyone to the Pango viewers. I guess we're gonna kind of redo the intro, but feel free to spawn another factory in the meantime.
Well, it's thinking. Well, the problem is it's thinking about it, and it should have done it already. And I am very confused and concerned as to why it decided to blow
Wait, did you still have the bathroom shenanigans?
No, I checked. It's not genning, so this is something
okay.
different. And
so there's a different issue right now.
Yeah, I don't know why it decided to take a shit, which is concerning because I have to continue to make levels after this, and if it's not working, that's a big deal.
That would be bad. But yeah, it worked a minute ago, so weird. Anyways, what we're doing is we're making maps. So I'm just gonna bridge the time. We're making maps, so you might be aware because you just watched hours of Pango's stream that we have a shit ton of maps, to be straight about it. And we can do that, or we can have that many maps and also release new maps every week, because we have an algorithm that procedurally generates the foundations of maps and automates a lot of processes in the level generation workflow. And basically what this means is that the level designers have to give a level their final touches, and then that takes between 20 to 40 minutes per level. And that means we can create a lot of levels in a week with only a little bit of human time in interaction. We're trying to do that right now, but Unity is not playing ball. So we might have broken it, which is very unfortunate timing. But if you have any questions, I guess I'm going to switch over to the QA scene really quick again, because the stream is still broken anyway. Why is it doing this? Oh, there we go. Okay. So you can see chat and stuff while Axsom is trying to fix up to the generator or Unity.
Yeah, it's just Unity at this point.
Yeah.
I killed it. Alright, I killed it.
Do you guys always want to make maps realistic, or are you guys willing to add crazy things, unrealistic things like a jump pad or something?
I am totally down with that. I just need to find a level where it makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like.
Are you asking for a
I don't
jump
think
pad
we need to
that's
be
baked into the level, or a jump pad that a user
well, in general,
can
he's
deploy?
talking about like, do we allow for crazy things thematically speaking? I
Oops, all
think
toxic.
everything that somewhat fits into the cyberpunk theme is probably fine. I'm not sure about it. A jump pad could be. I mean, I guess that's kind of on the edge, but probably still in the realms of possibility.
It depends on what the jump pad does, how far it launches people, et cetera, et cetera. There have to be rules to these things.
Yeah, obviously.
Like,
he was
does
more
it send you up
talking
one
about
level?
like, do we want
2Z levels?
something like that in general, like stuff that's not realistic. Or is that
I
like
mean, we would need to see we'd need to just figure out how it fits into the world. Like,
yeah,
these are all gameplay elements that, you know, we've all played with these types of things in different games. Like, you know, what's stopping us from bringing it to this game? Nothing. We just need to figure out, do we want to do it? Is it worth the time and effort to build this object and solve all of these problems?
Yeah. Will we ever get inside that awesome tower in the title screen?
What? Oh, the Gek Tower?
The Gek Tower. That would be
Gek
fun.
Tower tile set 1.
It's getting raided. We swap around the roles.
Oh, no.
Attackers. Argus has to defend now. That will completely break balance, but some of those not level generated some of those not non-level related questions I would like to ask you either on Discord or come back on Wednesday to the community hours stream and ask him there if possible, if I skim over them. But we have some time, so I guess I go over a few.
It's like you made the reference to like a map where Argus is defending, right? Like, I actually know how to simulate that, and that's like, don't worry about that. I know how to make a map that simulates that, and that could be fun, but we'll see. Like, as in, I could make it in a kill house right now, but I don't wanna.
Someone asks about a more arcade mode. I mean, more game modes would be nice. Like, it's something on the want list. Like, eventually, if we have, like, if we're happy with the main game mode and everything, and we're good and think about, hey, what could we add to the game to add more variety or whatever? Sure, more game modes, and especially like a more casual one for warm up or whatever would be a thing. But that's not in the foreseeable future. Possibility of a single-use revive stim, 1 per side or 2 broken. We technically, we never had revives, and I don't think we want revives, but we experimented with healing in the past, and that might make a return at some point. But it was very.
Okay, we're good now, Pion. It's generating.
Okay, nice. Yeah, there we go.
I had to go in plastic and murk whatever change that got done to the, like, there was some change to the factory level gen scene. I don't know what it was, but I just nuked it, and now it's fine.
Okay. So yeah, healing could come back, but it was a very controversial feature. Let's put it that way. So maybe it comes back in a revised version. Actually, that's interesting. That's a question we just answered in a different capacity. On some factory maps, there are planks connecting shelves. Wouldn't it be cool if you could shoot them to destroy some pathways? It would be cool, but it would just end up, in most situations, would just end up with the defenders shooting them before the round ends just to reduce the pathways for the attackers. Unless in situations where there would be to the benefit of the defenders, I guess, but that would be pretty specific.
Am I pulled up again?
Oh, no. What?
Like, I'm live now, so.
Okay. Should I?
Like, I mean, this is an interesting thing to talk about, so. Because this goes into, like, I could, like, you're saying one thing, and I'm like, I could see this being a thing. However, you know, right? Like, there's some stipulations here, so, like, let's talk about, like, this idea, right? So, I'm not actually going to use this level, I don't think, but we can talk about this as, could this be a thing really quickly? I just need to get the objects on the field. But, like, so let's say we do that, right? Because technically I can already do that. The planks, I believe, are considered small fizz objects, which if you shoot, they move around and stuff since they have a rigid body. Like, I remove those when I make the platforms, you know, the way I do. But if I remove those, technically you could, you know, do what he described, you know, do what has been described. So let's say we have that. Like Pion already pointed out, well, what if you just like the defenders would just shoot all of these things out. Well, it depends on how the level's laid out, right? Like, so I would need to make a pathway that is permanent that you can't shoot out, and then use the planks as a shortcut, like a quote-unquote shortcut, so defenders could do that. That's how I would do it, if that were going to be such a thing. Because technically we already have the ability to do that, since like, it's just, I would not make these things you can shoot a primary pathway. So if I wanted you to go this way, I wouldn't make this the only way you could get there. But if the planks existed, they would be like an optional shortcut, and the defenders could, you know, at that point the defenders would have to be like, do I plan on using this shortcut? No. Well, let me shoot it out so the attackers don't have it. Yes. Okay, maybe I don't want to shoot it because I'm going to use this. So like, I guess it's not really relevant now that I've described it, but like, you know, maybe, you know, there's a shelving unit here, you know, it sticks out like this, and you can't get to the other side. Maybe there's, you know, the big tall blockers right here because there's a door, you know, and there's planks like this. So I want defenders to get up here. Well, they get up here and they shoot the plank off, so the attackers can't follow if they get into here. Like, I probably wouldn't do that because I would want attackers to be able to come over here and flush them out. So like, I would have like, maybe it's like solid pipes or something, you know what I mean? Like, there's another connection up here that is a permanent, you can always go up here, and then maybe the shortcut is like this or some shit. Like, I don't know, but like, it wouldn't be like your only permanent pathway through the level with that suggestion.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. That's definitely, because if it's the main pathway, defenders will just shoot it. So
oh yeah, it's just going to be gone, so they deny it to the attackers, and that feels bad.
Absolutely.
I'm just surprised I broke level gen that hard. I don't even know what I did. I don't even think it was adding the bathroom in there. It just like took it, like even after I removed it, it still wasn't working. I'm just like, all right.
Weird. I mean, how did you fix it? Did you just?
I just went into the source control and undid all active changes on this tile set.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't lose anything. It was none of that. You know, I haven't worked on this.
Possible solution: can attackers find another plank to put there? I mean,
tactical plank.
But that would like introducing an item like that would cause a lot of complexity. I mean, it's doable.
More complexity.
It's a lot to ask for.
Yeah, it's a lot. But I mean, nothing is outside the realm of possibility. But I'm not a gameplay engineer. I don't know what makes. For good objects.
If he suggests that to Bickel, he's probably rip our head
so
off.
Like, if they give me, like, let's say, you know, Vince makes the tactical plank that attackers or defenders can use, like, I'll start making maps with that in mind, but like, I don't have that right now. So, you know, if they determine this is like the next item, the next big thing that's going to shake up the first person shooter genre, sure. But
we're just gonna take when we bring the ballistic shield back, we make it so attackers can use it as a plank.
Yeah, you put the shield down, you walk across it, easy.
That would be funny, but I don't see that happening.
I want to see if I can get a good roof access level, but unfortunately that usually takes a lot of gens.
Yeah, what we're doing right now is like Axsom is pressing the first generation button a bunch of times, like the first step of the generation, a bunch of times, and see what level gen is coming up because it's looking for an interesting.
Yeah, I'm just looking for something
configuration.
Because like technically, I could like make a map out of anything, but I like looking for things that are neat, rather than just being like, yeah, it's another factory map.
Yeah, I mean, we need a bunch of maps that are just, hey, it's another factory map without any bells and whistles.
Yeah, I usually do those when I'm not on stream.
Yeah, for stream.
Like when I'm on stream, I like to do something kind of maybe a little neat. Like
you mentioned in past streams that you're usually like 1 out of 10 factories you do is a little bit wonky or a little bit unique or has something interesting.
Yeah, something usually like that. So like normally what I do, so I know I mentioned it in streams in the past, like. I do my Boosty Boy streams. So if you're a Discord Nitro booster on our official Discord server, I do late night streams where I will make more maps. I usually try to make the last map that I make out of my set the really weird one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mostly because I spend like 2 hours on it.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time to make them more unique and crazy.
Yeah, because I'm like hand making all of it at that point. Okay, here. I like this central office. I like this how this office is very central is what I'm looking at right now.
That's a little bit weird suggestion. Again, I guess it comes down to technically we could, but what is the value? Could we make a glass window that can toggle to be clear or opaque? I guess it's similar to just having blinds shut over it. So it's similar to the C-store.
Yeah, you're basically asking, can we add? You're basically asking about the shutter system. Yes.
Yeah, can we add shutters? Yeah, we have shutters.
It's shutters. It's shutters with a different skin on it.
Yeah, I guess it would be a smaller window, and just like a sideline and not a pathway.
Yep. Yeah, the system already exists. It's just we need to make the art and
do that. We would need a good reason for like we would need the art, and we would need a good reason to put it into a level like it's like we could make like toxic pillars that there's a button in the room and you hit a button and there's like these big like uranium rods stick up out of the floor. We could do that, but like nice.
We're gonna need time to make the art, strap it to the shutter button, make it toggleable, figure out all the problems that are gonna come with it. Because I know when we do that, it's like if we did that suggestion that I just suggested, what's gonna happen? Well, what's gonna happen is people are gonna hit the button and then try to jump on the thing as it raises.
Yeah.
And now you've got a dude in the roof. So maybe it kills you when you jump on it because it's a uranium rod. Now nobody's going to jump on it, but somebody's going to jump on it. It's going to kill them, and they're going to complain to me and go, "Grant, I didn't know you could. I didn't know it was going to kill me." I'm like, "Well, it was a big glowing uranium rod. What do you want from
me?" Toxic waterfall. That's an idea for my taste.
That's actually one of the things I've wanted to do. You say that, but like one of the things I've wanted to see in Toxic. So I like visual cover, so it doesn't provide you. If you shoot through it, it's not going to stop the bullet, but you can hide behind it. So one thing I thought would be cool for Toxic would be like a big like pipe from the ceiling, right? That's just dumping like this toxic goo in this like a waterfall straight down, and you can shoot through it, but you can't go through it. I mean, if you could, it kills you instantly. But it's like all the thing is just you're shooting through this like toxic goo as it's being dumped into this pool below. Like I think that would be cool as shit. But
that would be pretty funny for sure. I guess we wouldn't need the art assets for it though, because that's not just something you cannot.
Yeah, that's not. I can't just snap my fingers and bring that into existence. And, we need like particles and all sorts of animation and there's a whole bunch of shit that goes onto it. Is it worth it? Probably. We're getting up to the point where it's like that's a lot of effort for not a lot of for something you're going to shoot through anyway. Is it cool? Oh, absolutely.
Here's a question for you specifically, Axsom. What experience did you have before due process? Like, have you worked on other games maps, or are you like me who just works on CS:GO customers?
Nothing. I went from zero to hero.
You didn't even start as level designer. You started.
No, I started as QA.
Yeah. Then moved to community manager, I guess.
I moved to community manager, and then I ultimately moved to.
That's why I stepped in and became community manager.
Yeah, you can. No, yeah, I started with no experience and got to where I am today. Yeah, I went from zero to hero. Like I was fortunate enough to when I was doing QA, we had a big QA downtime where we were refactoring. I don't remember which system, but refactoring a major system, and I had a big QA downtime since we didn't have any playable builds of the game because we were refactoring something very central, to keeping the game functioning. And I was just like, they were like, go make stuff for level gen. And Bickle showed me how to do it. So our Ben, our technical artist, showed me got me spun up with the basics of here's how to make things. And I found that super interesting and just taught myself how to manipulate level gen. And well, that's kind of the story. Is I just kept doing things, and well, it's like I keep doing things and it keeps working.
Yeah.
And now I am where I am.
It's cool that you found like you're really enjoying this right now. So it's cool.
Oh yeah, like I said, level gen is just an endless puzzle to me. It's super fascinating.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, we're doing the room
stumbled
pass right
upon
now.
it by random, basically. It's
It's like I just started doing QA, and they taught me, like, I got the beginnings of how to work with level gen, and then I just kind of took it and ran.
I just have to mention this. We were talking about the waterfall. People are now suggesting
Oopsie.
that
See, here you go. This is why we don't make
level gen
we don't
fully automatic.
so fully automated. Yeah, level gen was like, fuck it, we're putting shelving through the wall.
What's the toxic staircase there? What the catwalk? What is that?
Don't worry about
it. So people are suggesting that if the bullet goes through the toxic waterfall, right? It's dealing extra
poison damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew you were going there. I had the same thought.
Here's a good question though. How do you decide which trucks to keep on dock and which ones to remove?
So a lot of that goes based on bomb position. So like, for the most part, I usually just delete one. So it's like, okay, what sight lines am I trying to solve for? What is the purpose of me deleting this thing? There's I don't want to say always, but if there's a slot removed, there's usually a reason for it.
Mhm.
So like, for the most part, like, I try to give attackers, like, so let's say this part of the level doesn't exist, and I put a conveyor belt right here. I would open up this one so attackers can see through it, because I want to give them the option of, I want to spend a charge to be able to clear this area out. Right?
Yeah, it has to
So,
be
like,
worthwhile for them. So
yeah, so like, that's where I would remove something. Sometimes I will just remove one, but there are a lot of times where that's something I do, is I want to give attackers a sightline like this. At the same time, I will also make sure that a defender who wants to hide in here will very likely have access to covering bomb from the trailer, or covering a key rotate for attackers from the trailer. That is a thing that I like to do because I want to see people in these trailers. I actually saw a post on Reddit where guys, almost their entire team got locked in a trailer, and I was just sitting here going, this makes me immeasurably happy that this thing actually happened. But like, yeah, so like, let's say I get rid of that, like, I would try to make cover, like, again, like, perhaps I would take and put a thing of cover right here, like, take this take this conveyor belt and run it like this, so if attackers do blow this up, it's like, oh, we have this huge line of sight, and if there's anybody hiding behind these conveyor belts, I can just nail them with the saber. Like, that's the type of thing that I like to see. Because it's all about choices. Why would you ever do this? I have to make it worthwhile for you to do it. This is why whenever people are talking about wanting more wall charge opportunities, I'm like, wall charge opportunities, you think that you're being clever, but I already know it's there. Like, wall charges are 100% intentional, like, all the time. I don't think I've ever been surprised by a wall charge. Like, when people are like, yeah, we used a wall charge here, and it's like, yeah, I know.
W asks which software you're using for the drawing stuff.
Oh, for
like
for when I do shit like this, when that's Light Shot.
Light Shot.
I know that, like, people have, like, different opinions on it, but yeah, that's just Light Shot. I use it to take screenshots, but yeah, I can draw on it and stuff. It's pretty cool, super useful. I think David linked that in our Slack a long time ago.
Oh, and you just picked it up and used it.
Yeah.
I think I used that in the past sometime, or at least looked at it once. I know. Remember the name. I think it was at a different job though. Okay, this is actually multiple question in one, so I guess I'm just gonna try to answer parts of it. How hard will it be to make the maps of level gen open source? Probably not trivial, and probably not something we want.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah. Or give the community access to the 3D models. Now that's a completely separate question.
That's a separate question. That's actually more on like a legal team.
Actually, yeah, I kind of know the answer because I had asked for that, and basically, I asked the art team for a fan art package, and we will get something to like that. Probably not including the actual 3D models, but we're gonna maybe like renders of them or something like that. So yeah, probably not the 3D models, but we're working on a fan art package that we can put out so people can more easily create fan art. So that's kind of cool, but yeah, it's not really it's not really connected to the level gen, I guess.
Just doing the post room pass right now.
Yeah, that takes a few seconds.
Yeah, so the post room pass is like, you'll actually see it right here. It's the pillars. It's trying to place the pillars and a whole bunch of other stuff. But like, it's mostly those pillars. And like, I think the roof's to office.
Oh, someone found a bug. I'm not sure. You're probably aware because you're aware of most of these things. When you're in the truck, in a cargo truck on dock, you jump on a barrel inside. You glitch through the ceiling.
Yeah, your head. Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, you can shoot out, but you're getting killed by the drone.
So like, you say that, and I'm like, these things actually need to have more variation because we're now using them so much. In the past, like, we actually have trailers that are like this. I know you've seen them before, Pion. Just the ones you can't go inside that are just solid, that are closed. These used to be a thing, but instead we made it so every truck is enterable, and I think that makes the game more interesting. It makes this play space more interesting.
Yeah.
But
it means
we only have like, let's count one. We have 1, 2, 3 open trailers. It's these 3.
Yeah. So it's
like, that's not enough variation. I think we need more. So like, I would actually argue that we need to redo the interiors of these trailers to be more interesting. And at that point, I would put blockers on top of all those things, so you can't get on top of them, so you can't peek your head through the roof. But yes, I know you can do that. I struggle with that every time I make one of these clusters for office, because this is a cargo container. It's the same thing, and you can do the same thing.
Yeah. And I guess if you do it in office, you don't get killed by the drone. So
yeah, and here you don't get killed by the drones. It's worse. But like, yeah, so as you can see, I turned on my physics debugger, and I can see all the player blockers right now. And yeah, you can see this whole desk has a big ol' fuck you on top of it.
So you don't
climb. Because otherwise you're going to be doing this, even higher, and you can start to see, in some maps you could see like people coming through fan. Oops, sorry, yeah, you could see people coming through fan if it was over here. Yeah, so if I move that, it's like you can totally poke your head through here and be like, oh, they're coming this way, guys, and probably get a kill if you're using the mop, because you could see a dude's head at at this vantage point. Actually, if you want to see kind of level gen doing its thing, I'm gonna hit the lighting pass. Just like, whoop, whoop, there they are.
So people are asking about Steam Workshop stuff and etc. Nope. I mean, kind of making maps by users. Like, okay, first of all, we don't like, this is not even close to a point where we
see all the work I'm doing?
Yeah,
are you seeing all the work I'm doing right now? This is not user friendly.
This is not user friendly at all. It also would kind of go like, it would be fine for custom games, I guess, but it would kind of go like, there's not much value in it because it goes against the core of the game, right? Because the core of the game is you don't know the maps, so giving users the ability to make maps kind of goes against that. What we do, however, and that might be interesting to you, is like we do make a map thingies where basically the level designer sits together with the user. Right now, this is a perk for our stream partners. So I think Kalinator made a map in the past.
Yep.
We had a few more. Actually, I'm not sure if we have released any more since then. But basically, a level designer sits down with the user and they create a map together, similar to how Axsom and I do it here, just that you would take way more input from them instead of doing it yourself. So that's the thing we do, because that's kind of a fun thing to do for our stream partners, or maybe have a contest in the future where you can win a slot to make a map or something like that. But there's not much value in actually giving people the tools to make them themselves, except for custom games, where it could be fun for sure, maybe one day. But yeah,
so like how long do you think it took me to use the generator? Now you're asking, can we give that out for everybody to use?
Yeah.
Like, it took me a long time to like fully wrap my head around what this generator is A, capable of, and like B, how to manipulate it. And giving that to an end user who has no experience with Unity, like, sure, there's going to be other people like me who can do that, and they'll do it, do it in spades. But like, if we just, send it out there wholesale, there's going to be a lot of confusion. Like, we need to make something that's user friendly if we want to have like a Steam Workshop map thing.
Yeah,
to be way more user friendly.
Yeah, it also, like, even if you say, like, even if you think it doesn't, like, You could go away with the clunky UI, I guess, but I think it would even be technically like this is running in Unity, right? This is not.
Yep, this is Unity.
This is not like a separate tool we can just like make available or anything. You could
You'd
probably
be getting source code.
try to share part of this, but it's like this is also a technical like ask. Like this would not just be easy. Like we're not switching it. Like we're just not just publishing this. We would have to find a way to make it accessible via Steam Workshop and give you a way to upload all the stuff. And it's a big maybe someday in the future, but like this is, if this ever happens, it's very far out. Let's put it that way. It would be cool for sure, but as I said,
don't get me wrong, it would totally be cool.
It would be cool, but it's not like a huge value because, as I said, like it goes against the core of the game, so it would only be useful for custom games. Which, yeah, nice, but it's a nice to have, and it's a lot of effort and other issues that come in with it.
Yeah, if you remember, I said how all wall charges are intentional, so I specifically set this staircase up to allow for wall charges. So like on this map, there are wall charge opportunities here into office, and then here onto this side of shelving if you really want it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like a good spot.
And that is no accident. But now I'm struggling with, I want my green door to be in this room, but if I put it here, well, I have this long sight line to the other end of the level, which I absolutely do not want. So I'm trying to solve for not having our poor attackers getting nuked from across the map as they enter the level.
My chat broke. Damn it. Well, I guess I can answer here. Great. Now I can't easily answer in chat anymore because my restream chat broke for some reason. Well, too bad.
Yes, it's gonna be like a required smoke map
to get a good way in.
Just a sec. So what's gonna happen here? So this is kind of the entrance we're looking at. It's pretty difficult. So you've got people up here that can potentially be shooting at you, and you can potentially have somebody back here who can hit you. Not literally at this angle because I'm curving, but like you get the idea. Like somebody back here could hit.
You know the movie Wanted?
Here and here, well, specifically the top one. So like if you want to go this way, there's a likelihood that somebody's going to do this. So you're going to basically need to smoke this off.
Mm-hmm.
In order, like if you want to go do your wall charge plan, you're going to have to remember to smoke. So if people ever ask, do you keep this type of shit in mind while making maps? Absolutely. Do you keep items in mind when making maps? Oh, you bet I do.
I mean, I guess you could cross off some line of sights on, like on docks or in the main factory.
Oh yeah, I can
area.
totally put stuff up here. I could put like a forky, like a big fat forklift or a huge box pile right here to cut that off, and I probably will. But I'm just saying, like these are the types of things I think about when it's like, well, I need to place my green door. Like is it fun gameplay? Like sure, somebody's gonna love sitting back here with a sniper and murdering these dudes down here. Is it good for the game? I don't think so, because I really want attackers to get in the building and move around and do things, because that makes it more interesting than just barreling down a door from how many units is it? 1, 2. This is like 20 something units away.
Yeah, it's pretty far.
It's a lot, especially since I'm going to put hardcover back here.
Yeah, conveyors. Those snake out, right? Like you have a button.
Yeah, I just snaked
generate. Yeah.
Yeah. So the only thing that doesn't generate is this stuff up here, and I have to manually place that. I really need to fix that. It's not even hard to do. I'm just lazy. I haven't gotten time to do it. So like, yeah, you can watch me generate.
Too busy to improve.
And so I can just go to Yeah, like you can watch me snake this thing, you know, through
Yeah.
the level. But yeah, I just want him here.
Can we make this a mini game? Like we put an apple on the ground and try to
Oh
catch it
no.
with the conveyors.
Hey, Apple, the bomb, dude.
Oh, now we're thinking. Now we're talking. Yeah, sure. The snake eats the bomb and then it blows up. By the way, I was about to ask about the bomb. Is that staying in office or are you moving?
No.
This? Apparently we're moving.
He's going down here. Probably like this. Yeah, probably like this. Guess you'll be able to cover it from shelving and office and docks.
So I kind of missed it earlier because I was distracted. Did we actually got a roof access on this map? No, right?
Nope. No, I didn't.
Oh, we
I
don't even
opted
have servers. It didn't
to-
start.
Yeah, I opted to do. Yeah, I opted to do toxic, and I'm gonna have
Okay.
to. I'm gonna hand to make a. I'm gonna knock this fence down so you can transfer between it,
Uh-huh. Yeah, that makes sense.
and then that'll be it. That'll be your entrance onto toxic to shelving. I was trying to figure out where I want my office staircase. Because I need to have a way to get up into office that isn't just spawning in there. Man, I don't really know where to put it at the moment. Especially if I want to encourage the wall charge opportunity back here. Because if I put a staircase right here, you're just gonna like run in like that.
Yeah.
But that may just be what I do, like, unfortunately.
Hmm.
I'm mostly just thinking right now.
Yeah, I mean, what's the alternative? You could put the staircase on the northern side, I guess.
Yeah, I could put it up here is where I could put it, but that goes against the rule of shelving, right? That you always have the shelving units along the edge that you can walk on. Like that's what I'm breaking if I do that. It's like, is it worth? And I don't think it is. Because like if I get rid of the shelving units and put a staircase, like if you wall charge through here, you can't do the thing.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm gonna pull the shelving unit.
Could you connect the shelving unit and the stairs? Not really, right? It's not a. We don't have an asset for that.
Well, it's like you also have to think of like if this was a real building, how the fuck are they gonna get in there? You're not gonna make them run up on top of shelving units and jump through a window.
I mean, technically, you could have the staircase north and then add a window north next to it on the shelving.
That goes against the other. That goes against the other thing. Is the window only exists on one side.
Oh, true.
Like there's a lot of rules here that I'm gonna have to break a rule somewhere, and I'm still going through it in my head of where do I wanna.
Yeah, and just to clarify,
I
those
don't
are
break a rule. It's either I do the boring thing and I put the door right here. You know, do that.
That's a boring solution. Because it makes the wall charge less valuable.
Yeah, I mean, it still makes it so you can do this, but like,
yeah,
this exists. So this is why I say like, getting wall charges in factory is actually harder than you think. Because like, yeah, sure, I could make this room like inaccessible unless you spawn in there, then you wall charge it, but that's stupid. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Could you flip the staircase? Suggestion for.
I mean, I absolutely could.
Because that makes it harder for the attackers to actually get up there.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could. Like, I was just I placed it down for the sake of example.
Because then it might still be valuable to actually do the wall charge into office. So just to clarify, these rules Axsom is talking about, those are like internal guidelines for the level designers to make maps in a consistent way. One of the very basic rules, for example, is that every map has a green and 2 red entrances.
Yeah, so like certain rooms have a very defined rules as well.
Yeah.
So like shelving is actually one of the newest ones that I did that you guys have been playing on for a long time that I got really good feedback about. So the rule, kind of the quote unquote rule of shelving, is that anytime it touches a solid wall, so the the exterior walls, interior walls, which includes office, it spawns a walkable surface that you can go on. Like it's a two floor high walkable surface. So it doesn't do this against toxic because it's toxic is different. That's what makes toxic unique. So you end up breaking up the shelving line, and it only applies here. Otherwise, like, hey, there's a shelving thing you can walk on it. What does it spawn in the middle? Well, it spawns these things in the middle if there's enough space to break up the line of sight from fan. So like the whole idea of shelving was actually born off the idea of fan.
Okay.
Because fan used to only spawn in here. Used to only spawn in storage. Now I'm like, that's really boring. Like it's just a line of sight that you sometimes use. And I'm like, I want this thing. I want there to be more decisions beyond using fan. So I came up with the idea of shelving. So we're kind of at where we are now, where it's like, sure, it's a line of sight, but if you open it up, you get access to this like second floor highway that maybe you only have access to depending on the level. So like if I put those planks down in this level, defenders would have access to fan too, but it makes it so attackers can get in here and do this.
Yeah.
Or if I don't have that here, it's like, well, defenders probably aren't going to be up here at all because there's no reason for them to be. So you can, as an attacker, you can infer that it's likely there's not going to be any attackers or defenders over here, but there might be somebody back here. So, because what does that give them? Well, they're holding fan from up here.
Yeah,
and they come around this corner.
I guess the other shelving is not that important, but well, actually, if you open up the pathway to toxic, the other shelving becomes important as well. So.
Yeah, I'm just gonna murk this.
Yeah.
So like I'm going to add in this case, I'm going to add the planks, so you can go up and around.
Yeah.
So if you want to get to toxic, you're not locked into going through storage every time. If you're in office, you can run around like this, but you're still exposing yourself to fan.
Absolutely. Yeah, some of those rules are more strict, like having one green and 2 red entries, or dock is always south, facing south. Shutters are always facing south. Others are a little bit more flexible, I guess. I don't think it completely breaks the game if you like break the shelving.
So like what I'm doing right here,
stuff like that.
Like what I'm doing right here is breaking the rules, right? So like toxic. So like toxic and the new version of toxic in my head, as you've seen, is it's more like this. You've got your toxic tanks, and then you've got catwalks that kind of go around the room, and this is the whole theme of this room is the floor is lava.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is breaking. What I'm doing right here is breaking the rule by just deleting this thing and turning it into a doorway. And it's like I'm just straight up deleting a wall section, and that's not normally something you do.
Yeah, and like breaking these rules can be fun, but you always have to be a little bit careful about it because of consistency. Like consistency is important because we mentioned it earlier, but players have like 90 seconds to understand the map and make a plan for it, and if consistency plays a huge part in that. If maps would not follow rules, it would be way harder for players to pick them up, to understand them, and also to navigate them. Like that's especially like a lot of new players are at the start struggling with navigation, like they don't know where they are on the map, and they usually pick up on it really, really fast. And that I believe that's due to the consistent rules we have. Like you always know if someone says they're breaching shutters, you always know, okay, I have to go south because shutters are south in C-Store. Same for docks. And stuff like that. And these rules are therefore fairly important. Sometimes you can break 1 or 2 of them, but you have to make sure to not overdo it.
Yeah. For an example of that, I actually broke a rule in Kill House that one time when I made the door that it was the Kill House door that opened up, and if you closed it, it actually opened up a sight line between 2 rooms. I actually broke 2 rules in that map, where I took the glass doors of reception and put them in club because I wanted the entrance to club to be covered by this doorway because I thought that was super interesting. And then I got a shitload of feedback going, why did you do this? I got really confused. So it's like when you break those consistency rules, it better fucking be worth it. Otherwise you're gonna confuse the shit out of people.
Yeah. See, there is a real risk about that.
Yeah, so like with me knocking this thing out and allowing a pathway
Mhm.
over here, it's like that's not going to cause too much confusion because I'm going to add
Probably not. Yeah.
the white, swoop marker here to tell people
Yeah.
that you can go through here. But
It's
in
also
other
probably a
situations,
rule
that might
people are
not be
not
it.
super like. I mean, yeah, it's not something to be super surprised about. That it's just like missing wall section if it's clearly highlighted. And like obviously there will be a catwalk going there, so it makes sense that it's not just like a dead end. So
Yeah. This is the question before: see-through catwalk panels. Yes.
yeah, we talked about that earlier. Yeah. It's so funny to me, like since you changed toxic to be like all toxic or all goo
Yeah.
rather, we see a lot of times where the power switch is spawning in toxic and it just doesn't make sense.
Mm.
Like it's down there again, so I guess you have to move it.
Oh yeah, like the node that the power looks for is always on the first floor, so it's always
Yeah.
going to be down there.
Yeah. It could be a thing where you have to jump down in the GUI to press the button and sacrifice yourself, but it's probably not worth it in most situations.
I'm not gonna. That's not good gameplay. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, no, it's not fun to be the sacrificial lamp. Should there be a switch to drain the toxic goo? That would be fun.
Maybe. It could
I
be
mean, I
fun,
guess
but,
you would have to think about it again. Why would defenders like? Is this like to the benefit of the attackers or for the defenders?
Oh
Like,
no, I
we
think
have
he
to-
wants this the other way. It's a trap. You can it being so you can drain the goo implies that you can also add the goo back.
Oh, yeah, that would be fun.
So it starts drained. The attackers go in there, and then you go adios and fill it right back up.
That would be that would be interesting.
All right. So are you ready for some dumb level gem bullshittery?
Sure.
So I need to make it so you can get out this way. How do you
Mhm.
think I'm gonna do that? Because I'm not gonna leave the railing here.
You just gonna remove the railing. I
Well,
assume?
now I have this here,
Uh,
and this is part of the mesh.
Oh, okay.
How do I solve this problem?
When you can
Does
turn
chat
it
know?
around, but then you can't go the other way.
How does chat think I'm gonna solve this problem? It's actually pretty easy, and it's really stupid.
Oh, I have an idea.
What do you
I'm
think
not
I'm
gonna
gonna
mention it. Wait, let me see if Chip. Yeah, Derby. I think Derby's right about
do?
this.
I think Derby knows.
Yeah, flip it upside down.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, that's really dumb. Yeah, that's you're working with the tools you have. We don't have an asset for this because this is kind of a new thing we're doing. So yeah.
Yep, exactly. And there you go. Problem solved. And nobody looks down there, so
It's
But
fine.
like this is what I'm talking about. Getting feedback on shit like this is super important because if this is interesting and people like this, we can make an asset that fills this because it is important. So getting that feedback like this is always useful. Did Derby guess this correctly? Do you get a high five?
Yeah, he did it
All right, high
correctly.
five.
Oh, that would be cool, but that would be really hard to implement, I assume. A gate and a ditch across the factory floor. Then when we opening the gates, you have a toxic river like going through the factory.
Yeah, there's more that's involved there, but yeah,
It would be
like
fun. It would be a fun thing, like separating. Actually, it would be interesting to like have a button that splits a room in half.
I mean,
Yeah,
you're
it would be
basically just talking
interesting.
about a movable wall that
Well, it's
is,
kind of
that's
vault, I
basically like
guess.
that's basically vault, which is fine. Like it's just like we have to make justifications for why this is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, obviously, the suggestion came about like a movable bridge on in Toxic. Yeah. Movable parts are usually not a great idea. We
So,
talked
like-
about it earlier. It can
like,
be
one of
fun,
the things-
but
One of the things
lot
that I
of
really
issues.
wanted to see for Factory, it's gonna sound dumb. One of the things I really wanted to see for Factory was this lift. If you know what that is.
you cut out for a second.
Oh, sorry. So do you know what a scissor lift is? I wanted a scissor lift
Yeah.
for Factory. So like, you've got your little box here, and it's
Yeah.
got like a little platform that you can stand on. Then there's a button on the inside, and when you press it, it goes from being, this tall
Yeah,
to
to,
it.
like,
It has
bzz,
the
bzz,
like yeah
bzz.
the bzz, 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 and then
Yeah.
it brings you up here, and now you're at a second floor height. I actually really
Now you
wanted
can
something
clean the
like this.
windows.
Yeah, so like yeah, exactly. I wanted this in here. All it would do is it would move you up to the office height, so you could do things like this. So this is how you get in and out of office.
Oh
Is
yeah.
you have this
mhm.
scissor lift right here, and like
That
maybe
makes-
this is how they were
that-
cleaning the windows.
So
And, like,
how
that's an
do
object that I
regular
really wanted to
workers
see.
get into the office though?
Yeah, because then I could do things like put it next to shelving, and now it's like, oh, it's just here, and this is how you can get up and down.
hmm
Like I thought a scissor lift would be really cool, but
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's tricky. Having things like moving parts is always causing issues with netcode. It's a thing that can be done, but it's like a lot of work to iron out all the bugs, and also there are a lot of design issues you have to figure out, especially when it comes to wall charges and destroying things, etc. Is it destructible? Is stuff next to it destructible or on top of it, etc., etc. It's can cause a lot of issues. So we can do these things, but there needs to be good justification because they're hard
there's
to
a
do.
cost to everything.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. Like even we have a movable object, right? Or like multiple, but the biggest one is the vault door, and it works fine for the most part, but it can cause issues where it pushes players through the wall, stuff like that. So stuff like that is cool, and it's unique, and we want more of it, but it always has to be considered very well. Speaking of Vault, someone just asked about Vault, like if they feel it's really hard to, sometimes on some maps it's really hard to actually do the map in time because the button is so far away from the door.
completely agree with you.
Okay.
You'll know. So a lot of the kill houses coming in this week were ones of my design. I don't think
Mhm.
that's a fault of the factory. This is more just like how the map was being designed. I actually don't like that. I think that like it's cool. Like let me put it this way: it's cool if it's a sometimes thing. But the maps that I played over the weekend, and the kill house maps that I played with the vault, it seemed to be an all the time thing, and I don't like that.
hmm
Like if it's going to be a map that's super hard like that, where it's like the button is on one side of the map and the entrance is on the other, well, it's
Yeah.
like it's really hard to make a plan where you get the button and have this natural flow towards where you need to go.
Yeah, they
And,
tend to
like,
be
sure,
very defender
it
sided.
can be interesting. Like don't get me wrong, it's interesting, but when it's an all the time thing, to me it became very frustrating after my like fourth or fifth one that was like this. It became very very frustrating to me.
I mean, it
you'll
changes
find-
the game from having one main objective to having two main objectives.
Oh,
Because
of course.
basically, and those are spread out very.
Either way,
far.
you'll find.
I mean, Vault
with the,
always does that, but if their button and the door are close to each other, then it's not too big of a deal.
well, it doesn't. They don't even need to be close to each other, right? So, like, I'll do my drawing again. I know we're going over time again, but I'll
it's
try
fine.
to keep this quick. So, like, let's say we have our vault door that opens up this way, and this is bomb room, like, or whatever, right? Like, oh man, it's actually even harder than that. I gotta think. How to draw the scenario for this thing?
Ooh, I like this suggestion. Actually, that's a good one because it doesn't involve engineering, or it just involves art team. You can have a broken scissor lift, like that's like tilted on the one side, which would work like a ramp that could be put next to the shelvings. That would be thematically fitting. It's
potentially.
basically a way to get up the shelvings without having a staircase there.
Yeah, I mean,
I like that. It's a good suggestion.
but remember, shelving's not going to remain shelving forever.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, shelving is going to
shelving is
get
100% changing to like it'll be the same gameplay space. Like it'll still be the same. Like you walk along the top of these things. There's blockers in the middle. We're still going to have that, but the art is changing to something cooler, and there'll be more bits and bobs that I can play with. But yeah, like having like a pump or something that you stand on top of and it brings you up, like totally something we could do. But then you're getting back into the discussion of moving platforms.
Yeah, no, that's why they were suggesting a broken scissor lift because you wanted a scissor lift.
Yeah, that's just there. But I mean, at that point, like it wouldn't
It's just
be
a
a scissor
staircase.
lift. I'd make it something else. I'd make it. Like,
Okay.
I know what the room is going to become, but I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
Not here.
This time you really stretch you can go the short and dangerous path, or you go all the way around thing.
Yep. That's what I like doing. like you can go this way, but you got to make a couple of jumps to do it, or you can take the secure way and go around this way, as opposed to you 100%. Like I learned this from doing when I was prototyping our 4th tile set. I actually had main rotations that required platforming, but what wound up happening again, I only learned this through creating. Was that defenders will put barbed wire if it's the only path. You just put barbed wire here, so it's very very hard to make this jump.
Yeah.
And if it's the only rotation, you'll do it 100% of the time, and it's very frustrating for attackers. So that's why I don't. That's why I always have a longer main path and a shorter, more dangerous path. I actually experimented in one of the factory maps that I don't know if it's in today or if it's going in Thursday, where I actually have a green door. So I'll draw it real quick. There's a green door like right here, and there's an elevated floating platform that you can fire from as a defender that has clear line of sight on the green door.
Okay.
Yeah, but you have to jump to get to it.
It's just a platform, so you cannot really move.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It's like
you have this
there.
like, yeah, it's like it's really powerful, but it's like, well, you're at a pretty big risk here.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder if defenders will take that risk, because usually defenders don't want to be in a straight up firefight with the attackers, because they usually lose those. So they like to be mobile
just to see what would happen.
To run back and forth, and if you're like super exposed there and can't really move away, that's a big risk.
Yeah, pretty much. I like seeing I like doing those risk reward because it makes you think.
Yeah, sure. Risk reward is good. It creates plans. Okay, so power stays in toxic, but it's on the 2nd floor, obviously, not down in the goo.
Okay, I'm just making sure that I was checking the lines of sight, making sure the firefight was contained to, maneuvering around these pillars rather than somebody standing out here and being
oh
mean.
Yeah.
I mean, I guarantee you somebody will try to stand out here and be mean, but then they'll get killed by this dude, so good luck.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, Fan can cover this very well. That's actually interesting because it creates some counterplay back and forth.
Yeah, so like the problem is that you can cover this entire back half, which I don't like, so I'm gonna have to figure something out. I don't think I want to. Yeah, we'll see.
You could move the catwalk a little bit to.
I mean, I could shimmy it around like this, so it's a big L. But I mean, I still want people standing here, but they can't because So like, I'll have to think about it.
That's a little bit off-worldish question. Well, not off-worldish, but was there ever a stage in development where you guys thought about giving defenders window barricades? I mean, we don't have too many windows where this would be useful.
I've never seen something like that.
Oops. Oh, I have to. Oh, wait. I don't know. We don't really have windows where this is useful, so.
I've never seen anything like that in any of the prototypes. Like even all the way back in Block New Build, I've never seen anything like that.
Ever considered deployable cover? Well, we had movable cover. There's a blog post about that, like a really old one. It wasn't a good idea.
It was a terrible idea.
Yeah, it was for 2 reasons. Well, the first reason is the obvious one. People just gonna spend the whole prep up or setup phase to move cover, not like in interesting places, but just in doorways. Like they're just gonna put everything in choke points and just make it hard for you like to go through. That's the big obvious issue that maybe could be solved somehow, but tricky. The other issue with it is it's just not good for the game, because while we want opportunities to change stuff on the map and like make interesting things, what we don't want is maps to be completely unpredictable. But because big part of the planning is to have big predictability. Like you have to have an idea what the defenders could do or how the map looks like to make a proper plan. If the map just like completely can change because the defenders are moving around all the cover, then the attackers will have really hard time making any kind of plan because they have no idea how the map looks before they go in. So it's that's the more.
So like you'll see that we're being very careful about having things that move in the level. So like think about Vault Door and how big of an impact having a 2x2 that swings in an arc, how big of an impact that has on how you move through a level. Now imagine if we gave defenders the ability to move every desk inside of Office Animal Crossing style. Like the the amount that room is going to change and impact the level is going to be enormous.
And it's mostly gonna end up with defenders stuffing stuff into doorways. It's just
basically.
it's just not. It's just the nature of things. What we had in the past, though, and we'll get back, is the ballistic shield, and we had situations where the defenders steal it from the attackers and used it for their advantage, and that's kind of deployable cover at that point. So that was fun, and that's coming back. So I guess that's good. That has to be good enough. Yeah, row one. Yeah, you could have you could restrict the moving of the cover, obviously. Like people have also talked about like flipping desks and stuff like that. That could be fun, but again, we're coming down to it has to be implemented. It has to all the stuff has it's stuff we could do. It's not a bad idea.
It's work.
Maybe we do it at some point, but it's always a consideration of how much value does this actually give us, and how much effort is this to implement, and especially by who, and have these people actually have free resources right now to do it. But yeah, it's limiting it by having a rail that's only on one axis. Sure, like having like a curtain or something you can pull over, for example. Now, it could be interesting. Or like a movable wall thing. Like,
I'll just say all things.
I mean, I guess you could do like something like the rolling docks, just like sideways, something like that. Stepping stone.
No, that's just cover.
Oh, okay.
So you can sit right here and fire down.
Yeah, right. So,
actually, let's flip it. Yeah, so you can sit back here and shoot. Yeah, Toxic is now organized for the most part. I need to make the transition piece right here, which is basically just a fallen, like, half fence. Then I organize office, and I think I'm done.
What if defenders have a shutter inside the map that could be closed? I mean, yeah, could be done. But we have outside shutters. I'm not sure how much they would just always close them, wouldn't they?
So just remember, like,
we had the
vault door is using the shutter button.
Doors.
It is using the same system that the shutter does. So
it also
closes. Is this possible? Yes.
Pathways. So yeah.
So like, I'll give you another idea that I had for a kill house room. So imagine a room that has shutters on all sides, but north, south, and east, west are on opposite stances. So these are always up, these are always down. So and when you hit the breaker, it flips them.
Yeah, I like that.
That was an idea I had one time. I don't remember what name I had for the room, but something like that, where you waffle the direction of this room based on where, if you hit the button, and the button would actually be inside the thing. But the problem with that is that the flow between that room becomes very, very, very important. The placement of that room becomes very important. And what rooms it touches becomes very important. Because you don't, it's central, and you don't want to have it cut off the entire level if it's just shut.
Absolutely.
Because if the green door is over here, right, and then we've got our magical like waffle room over here, like this, and then there is another room connecting it here. Like, well, all the defenders have to do is like shut this off, and then attackers can never go through without a wall charge, and that's bad. Because like you just need that needs to be kept in mind when making that kind of level, because it's like once you control that room, you can control the flow of the level, which is extraordinarily powerful. But making sure that it's fair is but I mean it provides interesting decisions for defenders. Like if it is touching that green room, it's like, well, we have our magical room over here that can toggle. It's like, well, if we leave the doors down, they have to go around like this. But if we leave the windows up, well, now we can just shoot straight at them.
Yeah.
It's like there's always decisions that need to be made, but that means they can shoot back you, and they have a shorter, travel time to get to where you are. So if you leave the shutters down, it's like, well, now we're protected from grenades and stuff. So it's like always everything should be a decision. Like when we're thinking these things out.
Yeah, we're trying to create interesting decisions, or creating scenarios where you have to make interesting decisions. That's I mean, that's basically a
That's the
game design
game.
for every game ever. But yeah, we're specifically focusing on that for planning. Like, we want you to make interesting decisions when planning, and I mean also during execution, like having tactical decisions, obviously. But yeah. Yeah, since multiple people have asked in chat, and I've answered in chat already, but I'm gonna say it one more in stream. Towards the first half of the stream, we talked excessively about how the level generator actually works and which parts of it are like procedurally generated and which is the manual part we're doing here and stuff like that. And so yeah, if you want to know more about that, I recommend checking out the VOD. Because I know that the people that rated came in after that explanation, so I kind of missed that. It was pretty technical though, so
Yeah,
right.
I think of the two streams, my level gen stream is probably the more technical of the two. So if you're interested in the technical goodies, yeah, I'm one of the guys to ask.
Yeah, the Tuesday stream with Sandwich and Smith is a little bit more beer and pretzels, I guess.
Is what?
Beer and pretzels?
Yeah, they're the bubbly stream. I'm not that.
Yeah.
I could be, but we tend to get a lot of technical questions, most of which I can answer.
Definitely.
So I mean, I'm fine with this. I think it gives each of our level gen streams a different flavor.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Like you're the guy who is way more involved into the level generator itself than Sandwich. So yeah, you're the person to ask for technical questions. So that's just natural.
But if you want the real person, you got to go hunt down our tech artist because he knows everything about this. But
yeah,
he's
find Pickle somewhere.
Yeah, Pickle. Yeah, sometimes he'll pop into chat. He's a really cool dude.
Yeah, definitely. He's usually busy with the engineering stand-up during the level gen streams, though, so he tends to jump in later. Didn't show up today, I guess. Probably busy with other important stuff because he's like everyone needs his attention. So.
Everybody needs it. Well, it's like. Remember, he's a tech artist. Tech artists are worth their weight in gold. They're both, part coder, part artist, and you're bridging the gap between the two, and that's super important. So he's always busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. So like. This trailer right here, I'm leaving because I want people to be able to cover bomb from it. But I have the door open next to it. So if you blow this open, you can just boop, hit the button.
Yeah.
It's like if you know there's a dude in here, you can just be like, wall charge, boop, and he's gone.
Yeah, and seeing 5 cargo trucks here really shows the issue I mentioned earlier that we don't have enough generations. It's like
yeah, because like you've got 3 of the same one.
I guess you could manually change stuff around, but.
Yeah, it takes time, and I want to remember, we're in the business of simplifying this to be quick. So what I would do is I would do the same thing I do the shelving. We have a thing called loadouts, which allows me to rapidly cycle between presets. I would use that. So instead of having 3, I'd make like 20, and it would just cycle between those. And that's like, okay, now we got enough variation that you're not going to see the same truck on the same map.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if on this map, if we maybe need another reason to go docks here, to be honest.
I mean, this is the only reason to go docks. What you really want is this red door to clear this out.
That's what I mean. Like, should you actually go this red door? Like, I guess you should clear out the conveyor. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's why I have it.
I was just thinking most cases I would go fan instead. But...
Yeah, so if I put the red door, well, yeah, if you go fan, like you're gonna be challenged by these guys back here.
That's true. It's true.
Let's actually make that harder.
Ooh.
Like I'll give him another set of cover just to read.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, let's make that.
Yeah. So now it's actually more valuable to take the red door.
It's like this is something I probably like. If you hadn't mentioned that, I would have seen this when I do my final run over. When I'm looking from the top, I look at each door and just be like, "Is
That's
this?"
exactly
You know,
what
is
I
this
did.
clear?
I just looked
Yeah,
at the
it's
map
like you
because
just did it before me, but yeah, it's
there
like,
were no questions, so I just and you zoomed out enough for me to get a good look. So I was thinking about, so what's this map? How's it gonna play? So yeah.
yeah. So like, put a Forky there. We'll bomb up a little. I think. Pull him down here. I'll just leave the Forky there.
So yeah, you can now either take fan and get access to office and the high ground, but then you have to fight
And
conveyors.
toxic.
Yeah, and toxic, true. Where power is. That's a good point, actually. Yeah,
Exactly.
I guess
You could
yeah.
do this if you really
Yeah.
wanted to. This would be a more viable solution if you if we had the riot shield, because you could just push down this lane.
Yeah.
Like once we get the riot shield back in, I think it'll be really powerful and toxic.
Yeah.
Also, you can see my solution from earlier.
Yeah.
I just
you moved
pulled. I pulled out
stuff.
everything, kind of nudged it in one. So
That's
people
exactly
can
what
beat
I
back
had in
here.
mind when I mentioned you could
Yep.
pull it in a little bit. So yeah, that makes sense. So you don't get the super long.
So now
line
you're
of sight.
playing through these like
Yeah.
these sight lines like this.
And actually,
like
the
that.
defenders also have cover when they're trying to defend against fan from
Yep,
toxic.
you can
Like,
stand here and peek
yeah,
it like this.
Exactly.
That's why I pulled it in. That's why I added this guy here, because I don't
Yeah.
know if he was here. I thought it was just these two originally, and I added the third one up here.
Yeah, it might be. There were only two. I'm not sure which which two.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm sure the VOD will find out, and I'm sure I guessed it incorrectly, and I'll get endless amounts of shit for it.
Potentially.
Is he all the way in the ground? Aha! Aha! I know he's not. Get on the floor. And you're floating too. Get out of here.
Stop floating. Okay, some final touches. I think we're pretty much done, right?
Yeah, we're getting close.
Moving office around a little bit. Well, office cover rather.
Yeah, I'm putting a little cubby hole back here that, like, if a defender's back here, you have to go all the way around to get him. Because I was like, well, if you blow this up, like, you're going to be able to see and murder this guy easily and clear out office super easy, rather than if you go up here, it's like, well, you're going straight into cover, and you have to deal with this guy up here. So I just tried to make the back half of this thing more... I guess the other alternative... Now let's keep it open. I use the other one too much. I could have used this one. The like server room, little mini server room, but nah. We'll use this way. He doesn't get used nearly enough.
Yeah, I'd say I don't see that one too often. I'm used to playing around it.
All right. Well, I think the last thing that I need to do is fix this, but I can do that in my own time because I know it's getting late for you. We're about half an hour over.
Yeah, it's fine. What do you need fixing about that?
Oh no, I need to like hand make the bridge here, and that takes time.
Yeah. Some detail.
Like we can
there,
just call it here, and I'll
doesn't
get
really
it done.
change the level anymore. It's just like some graphical.
Oh, racing linebacker. That's a really fast linebacker.
Yeah.
Linebackers aren't meant to be fast.
I guess. Yeah.
Actually, there's one more thing I need to do.
Yeah, we forgot the plank. Right.
Forgot my planks.
There we go. Need the plank to get over there. Stretch it a little bit.
Stretch. Yep. Turn this. All right, cool. We got our plank path. Wonderful.
Perfect.
Let me just hit save. So I think this is, yeah, all I need to do is just do this thing over here and then I'm done. But I think this is it for this level. This is a really wide factory, by the way. Normally they're tall. This one's like a wide boy.
Yeah, it's pretty wide, true.
Oh, yeah, look how wide he is. Yeah, I can't like. Normally, I kind of like try to keep this centralized, but I can't because he's so wide.
Yeah.
If I put him central, it's like you come right up against the edge of the mid-ground.
Can you rotate the mid-ground?
I mean, technically yes, but why would I?
So
it's a square.
Better.
It's a square.
Yeah, but the stuff that's placed there, I guess you can just.
I delete the stuff that's there.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
fair.
That's what
Good
this
point.
button is here for. Is clear.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, what I'm saying
that's
is
probably
like,
easier.
when it's here, this is super close to the edge, and if it's off the edge, well, now players can't get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this. Here we go.
Yeah, looks good. Looks good to me. Not easily accessible from green.
And you can't Molotov it, or it's very hard to Molotov.
You can wait for the defenders to run, attackers to run around and then Molotov.
Of course.
But that's fine. All right.
Yeah, all done. I just gotta. I'll do this in my own. I'll fix that little bit up in my own time.
That's gonna be it for today.
All right.
We did some factories. If you want to see more of this, well, not technically this, but similar to this, we have another Making Maps stream tomorrow with the other level designer Sandwich and our other community manager Smith. So they're going to create some factories or kill houses or C-stores, or maybe one of each, I imagine. Or maybe more. I don't know how fast they are, actually.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But yeah, if you want to see if Kill House or C-Store, then that's the stream to go for sure. That's tomorrow at the same time. So what's the time in some not European time? It's
2 Pacific.
It's scheduled. Yeah, 2 Pacific. Right, that's the one. It's on the schedule as well. In general, the schedule. I have a command for that. Wait, is my thing
Can you do it
again? It depends on if my chat is working again. It did. Nice. Okay. So yeah, we have a schedule. It's public. So tomorrow, Making Map again with Sandwich and Smith. And at Wednesday, there will be the community hour stream with me, where I can answer all your all your questions. So that especially includes non-level or level design questions. So all the generic questions or about everything really. We can also talk about level design, but these questions are better placed at the level streams, obviously. So yeah, everything, especially if I missed any questions today or purposefully skipped over them, please come back Wednesday and ask then, or just in Discord. And on top of that, last but not least, we have Tuesday and Thursday night, the dev team practice streams, where our competitive stream just consisting of developers who are participating in the Due Process League, in the Rivals League, I guess, but DPL Rivals, doing their training sessions. So yeah, if you want to see if the devs are actually good at their own game, watch that stream. Spoilers, they're talking about crap facts a lot usually, because that's something Tripnot likes to do.
What's he doing?
Crap facts. Talking about
crap facts. Crap facts.
Yeah. Crap facts are important. So yeah, that's it for today. We're gonna raid one of our stream partners, so say hello to them. And it's been me, TH Pine, and Axsom, and we wish you a good day.
Yeah, see y'all next week.
One, I'm sleeping at 39. Mr. Swan, I'm receiving at 39. Mr. Swan, I'm receiving at 39.